And this, as ever, promises to be a very spectacular race. Knockhill is a real bullring of a circuit. There's lots of curbs for them to launch themselves over. It's a jumbled grid. You've got Jason Plato starting way, way back and probably from the pit lane if everything goes according to his plan. But then factor in safety cars maybe and incidents on the first couple of corners. It's a bit of a lottery, this.
Well, it is. I mean, it's certainly unpredictable. Paul O'Neill was saying it's a straightforward BMW win first two races, but there's going to be lots more going on besides that. The tyre strategy, which BMW have split between Tordhoff and Prio, how's that going to work out? How quick will Shedden be? What will Rob Austin get in the mix? What will Matt Jackson do with no weight and quick up the start-finish line? How will people's fastest laps play out? What will Jason do? There's lots to look forward to in this race.
The race itself is only 24 laps, so it's a pretty short, sharp race. It is a grid of 28. Hunter Abbott missing. He's had to go back home because his wife has now gone into labour. We wish them all well. There was talk of getting the car out for a different driver. That has not come to anything. We've got as far as the stewards, but it's been rejected. And we've got Tom Ingram's car being pushed down the pit lane. So Tom Ingram off the grid. Now the Speedworks part of the pit lane, just in front of our vantage point, but dramas straight away, I'm afraid, for Speedworks, the Northwich-based team, and Tom Ingram, 12th on the grid, has got a problem straight away, and the car is in the pit road. So the team going to work as we look at the grid for round 19 of the Dunlop MSA British Touring Car Championship. Andy Prio on soft tyres is on pole position, Sam Tordhoff with him at the front of the grid, ahead of Matt Jackson, and Rob Collard is fourth, and they are both on softs ahead of Gordon Shedden and Rob Austin. Soft tyres in use for both of them. Matt Neal and Andrew Jordan come next on the fourth row of the grid. Soft tyres for both of those drivers. Ahead of Colin Turkington, he's on softs, and Adam Morgan is 10th. 11th on the grid, Aidan Moffat at his home track. Tom Ingram should have been 12th on the grid, ahead of Jack Goff and Aaron Smith, and he's on the soft tyres on row 7. Row 8, Jeff Smith and Mike Bushell lining up alongside him. The 9th row, Warren Scott and James Cole on soft tyres for Motorbase Performance. Josh Cook and Martin Depper come next on row 10. The 11th row of the grid is where you find Jason Plato and Dave Newsham. Plato on the soft rubber, Derek Palmer and Rob Holland on row 12 of the grid. The 13th row, Stuart Lines and Dan Welch, both of those drivers on softs ahead of Kieran Gallagher. And Alex Martin, 28th, and he too is on the soft tyre. Now around here, they get two warming up laps to get warm into the tyres. And Gordon Shedden starting 5th on the grid. Gordon, what can you do from 5th? How hard a race is this going to be?
Yeah, this one's going to be quite tough with the ballast on board, but you know, we'll give it everything. You never know what can happen up front, and 25 laps round here, it's not going to be plain sailing.
Gordon, Tim here, everybody around you is on the soft tyre apart from Tordhoff on the front row on the medium. How do you think the tyre strategy is going to pay out today?
Well, the soft tyre won every race here last year, and I think the you know, could be critical for lap time or lap time in race 1 for good position for race 2. So I think soft in race 1's the best option myself, which is why I've gone for it.
Okay, go for it. Have a good one.
Cheers.
So Gordon Shedden, who needs points after a disappointing weekend at Snetterton. This is how the ballast plays out. Jason Plato, 75 kilos. Colin Turkington on 66. Gordon Shedden on 57. Sam Tordhoff has 48. 39 for Andrew Jordan. 33 Matt Neal. Andy Prio on 27. 21 for Jack Goff. 15 Adam Morgan. 9 kilos for Rob Collard.
And we're hearing that the Ingram problem, the Tom Ingram problem, was a clutch problem. They're bleeding the clutch in the pit lane. As we speak, Rob Holland brings his car in as well. The team sister car.
Yeah, exactly. The two Speedworks cars with potentially similar dramas. So Rob Holland is in, Tom Ingram is in, and we are anticipating, of course, Jason Plato to start from the pit lane in order to try to go for the fastest lap. So the grid is going to look rather jumbled. There's going to be a separate race for those leaving the pit lane, and of course they want to try and get out after everybody else with clear road ahead, but the danger is they'll trip over each other.
Yeah, they can find some space. They'll try and find some space to do their fast lap, and then they'll obviously hope there's a safety car that brings them all up together. Very slow warm-up laps. Not exactly sure why BMWs would choose to do that. They generally struggle to get heat in their tyres, but perhaps they're thinking they've got a better balance at the moment, and the front-wheel drive cars will have low rear temperatures. Certainly Plato will have lower rear temperatures, but look how slowly they're coming round to the grid.
Alex Martin is going to be the man at the very back as we get ready then for race one. In fact, we said Alex Martin is going to be at the back. Dave Newsham has also fallen to the rear of the grid as the cars now accelerate their way down towards the hairpin. Jason Plato trying to urge a bit of warmth into the rubber. Expect something off the line for Rob Collard, only 9 kilos of weight, and we know how quick off the line he is. So let's keep an eye then to who else decides to bail for the pit lane in a moment. As I say, we expect Jason to do that. And you've got Dave Newsham now. If you can't start from the pits because there are other people there and that might scupper your plan, you can of course elect to drop to the back of the grid. So let's see what the plan is. The fact that Dave Newsham has fallen back as well, he would have been on the same road as Jason, is interesting. And I reckon Jason's going to do a grid start here, but having dropped to the very back, he can let everybody else go, can't he? And Dave Newsham's doing the same.
Yep, absolutely right. They're going to start at the back, just let the field go, keep a little bit of a gap. Slight danger they could drive into an accident on the start line, but here we go. Who's going to bet the best start of the BMWs?
Round 19 of the championship is about to get underway. 24 laps around Knockhill is go. Great start by Prio, good start by Matt Jackson as well, who gets up alongside Tordoff. Down towards Sayat Curves for the first time, and it's going to be Andy Prio that leads Matt Jackson second. Then you've got Collard and Tordoff as they wriggle their way through for the first time, but Prio it is from pole, he leads the way.
Yeah, great start from Andy Prio and from Matt Jackson, who already looks very aggressive. Usually Collard is very quick off the line. He didn't make it, and Tordoff didn't either. Further back, we'll have to watch the gap. I've seen Tom Ingram leaving the pit lane.
And Dave Newsham away lethargically from the grid to build up that gap ahead. There is Plato, look, who has also gone for the back of the grid. So they are trying to get clear road ahead and not trip over themselves as Matt Jackson goes for the race lead down towards the hairpin, end of lap one. And the ballast-free Ford is going to grab the advantage. Prio slips to second, and Tordoff and Collard come through absolutely level for third place, with Tordoff just nosing ahead. But Matt Jackson leads for Motorbase Performance, and he is starting to edge away. But look at third, absolutely side by side over the line. Tordoff has the inside line down towards Sayat Curves. Collard is on the outside line, and they touch, and Rob gets sideways, but he hangs on to the place. Shedden is right there. Rob Austin is right there.
Well, we've had incidences between the BMWs in the past. Rob Austin forcing his way, looking down the inside of Shedden, but couldn't make it back out of it. Everyone survives, but a great first lap by Matt Jackson. Strong, aggressive, powerful.
And no ballast on board. Gordon Shedden, you're riding with us, got 57 kilos. Ahead is Tordoff with 48. Tordoff is on the harder tyre. Remember, everybody around him is on the soft. And Shedden is inching up onto the back of the BMW. He thinks about the inside. Tordoff defends and also tries to get up the inside of Collard. That doesn't pay off. Rob Austin is sixth, and then Matt Neal looks seventh. He's joining the party as well.
Yeah, I think Tordoff is just struggling getting that medium tyre up to temperature. The softer tyre comes up to temperature a little bit quicker, and it's quicker in the early first few laps.
So Matt Jackson leading by 1.3 seconds as he comes over the line. Have a look at Shedden now. He is all over Tordoff like a cheap suit. Which way does he go? Can't find a way through at Scotsman. He's right up behind, and he needs to get on with this before Rob Austin comes and knocking on the back door as well, because the Audi is inching up.
As is Jordan, who's right there as well, and Neil very close.
Up the inside goes Shedden alongside Tordoff up the curb. Gordon goes through. Tordoff gets elbowed out wide, and this is Rob Austin's chance. The Audi charges through. Tordoff loses 2 places.
Yeah, aggressive move by Shedden. He could see that Tordoff was the cork in the bottle. Oh no, Aidan Moffat has gone off. Looks like a technical.
Neil round the outside of Tordoff now. He tries to make his move. Sam Tordoff sticks out his elbows. They're going to be side by side over the line onto lap number 4 of 24. Through they come. Jackson is leading by 2 seconds now. Prio second, Collard third, fourth it's Shedden, then Austin, and sixth is Tordoff, back up the inside of Matt Neal.
Tordoff sliced through on the brakes there. Dan Welch off as well. Remember, he was off in qualifying with broken front suspension. Atlas looks like a bit of an off. We'll start watching the lap times in a few minutes.
So much curb being taken. Andrew Jordan way up onto 2 wheels through the chicane.
This is on board with Goff. We can see Moffat on the right-hand side. They come down towards Butcher's side by side. There's contact, and Moffat just gets into a tank slapper spin. Can't hold it. 2 into 1 just doesn't go there.
Goff had hit the curb, hadn't he? And he was up on 2 wheels. Marker goes for a Burton as well. And this is at the end of the lap. Kieran Gallagher gets into Dan Welch. The Proton gets fired off the road.
Yeah, and really onto the wet grass. Brio chasing down Jackson, but Jackson's got nearly a 3-second lead, and Jackson has the fastest lap at the moment, a 52.4.
And in terms of their lap time, where do you find a Jason Plato lap at the moment? Well, he's a long way down the order. He's only to be found in 25th place in the race classification, but the cars now working their way through. We're on to lap number 5. So Matt Jackson leading by 2.7 seconds. Now, Shedden creeping up onto the back of Collard. Assuming Matt Jackson with no weight is going to build this lead. Second, third, and fourth is going to be interesting, especially for Shedden, to see how many points he can get out of this.
Yeah, he looks aggressive, doesn't he? He wants the most he can possibly get, and it's going to just be interesting to see how the tyres work out. I think the soft tyre will hold on well. As Gordon said on the opening lap, they won all 3 races here last year. It's warmer today, so they should be okay. But I think that as the race goes on, Tornoff is going to get a little bit quicker and come back at these guys.
Going to be right about that, but in the meantime, Shedden is still tonking on in his 4th place. Then the quicker of the 2 Honda Yuasa Racing Civic Type R's in the race at the moment, and Collard is just creeping up onto the back of Trio now. Second and third, the 2 BMWs run as Matt Jackson continues to build the advantage in the first sector, but we understand the safety car is about to be deployed. Now, we've had a couple of cars stranded around the road, and the safety car is indeed being deployed, and so Matt Jackson's 2.6 second advantage is about to disappear.
Yeah, Collard wasn't quite sure, hadn't had the message, but it's all slowed down now. This is sometimes what happens on the approach, the start-finish line when the safety car comes out, but all the teams will be on the radio saying it. But yeah, there's debris there. That's a brake duct cooling hose, it's going to be disappointing for Jackson, but I think he can pull the lead out. Also, that tyre barrier got knocked out of the way. That was the one that Aidan Moffat went through. He was lucky not to hit anyone else. Look, it's Aaron Smith in the pits with grass on the front of his car, so he's had the rads cleared out. Plato now, meanwhile, what's Plato's fastest lap? He's actually set the 10th fastest lap time. Well, that's pretty good if you're happy with that.
Yeah.
He's now got to decide what to do. If he catches up the back of the grid, he can start overtaking a few cars. Yes, he's down in 27th place, but he can overtake a few cars if he's happy with that 10th position. Plato being passed by Ingram as he settles for track position to do his fastest lap rather than racing. But the team might say to him, look, you're in, you're 10th on the grid now. That might be enough.
So this is how the provisional grid would look. Matt Jackson has done the fastest lap of the race. Gordon Shedden the second fastest, Rob Austin third, Rob Collard, Andrew Jordan, Tom Ingram, pit lane start after that clutch problem. He's now looking pretty good for race 2. Tornoff, Turkington, Neal and Plato, as we've been saying, in 10th place.
But they've restarted, the race has restarted, the safety car is in, and look at the jump that Jackson's got immediately. He's got most of that lead back straight away on the restart.
We're up to 25 laps because of the safety car period. Brief as it was, everybody goes racing once more. And once again, Jackson is away like a stab rat because he's built that gap in half a lap over Prio, then Collard and Gordon Shedden, who still is hunting for a podium finish in this race.
I have never actually stabbed a rat personally, but I would imagine they would disappear fairly quickly.
It's a northern thing.
Okay.
Yes. Down to the hairpin. Gordon Shedden getting closer and closer under braking. Can he make a move there? What about coming out of the corner?
Yeah, well, the BMWs are not too quick up the straight. Doesn't appear to be too much in it. The weight, obviously, is playing a bit of a factor, but look at Rob Austin. Rob Austin is coming out of that hairpin very well, and he's quick up the straight.
And then there's Tornoff coming back into the mix as well. And Matt Neal is not a million miles away, winner here last year. So through turn 3, Scotsman, then the road drops down through Butchers up towards the chicane. One of the most spectacular parts, not only of the circuit, but of the whole British Touring Car Championship year, as they launch themselves 2 wheels over the curb.
And that's a great rear shot, isn't it? And look how the rear wheel just comes off the ground as the car pitches in. That's why you see that puff of smoke, as the rear wheel just kisses the ground on the brakes.
On board with Shedden, down to the hairpin, stands on the brakes. Nose drops, he brakes as late as he dares to get onto the back of Rob Collard, but he's just not quite there. There's more drama at Clark's. Derek Palmer is off, Stuart Lyons is off, Kieran Gallagher is off,
And that car, that Infinity, is now actually in a dangerous place, right on the exit of a blind crest in the gravel. Let's hope he can get it going. Yes, he can. Don't get stuck. Excellent. Okay, well done, Derek. He's rejoined. Oh, no, he's got damage.
Yeah.
But at least he can get the car to a safe place.
And this is what started it all.
He was involved with Stuart Lyons.
Yeah, and Gallagher takes evasive action. In fact, the damage was caused coming into that corner with Stuart Lyons. So he's out of the way, but he's out of the race as well, sad to say, as the race leaders work their way down towards the hairpin once more. We're on now, lap number 10. Look at Jackson's advantage. He's still got the fastest lap of the race. Gordon Shedden now the second fastest lap. And again, Shedden breaks as late as he dares. Now lower down, look, Tordoff and Matt Neal getting themselves together. Matt is on a mission here as well.
Yeah, he is, but there's so much aggression in the way that Gordon Shedden is driving, isn't there? There's just complete attack mode he's in. But he's gonna. I think he could possibly get through past the. I think he's quicker than the BMWs of Prio and Collard.
But he's falling away a little bit now, partly because seemingly he's got to defend from Rob Austin. But that gap has really opened up, hasn't it? Third to fourth.
Yeah, there was a mistake somewhere coming out the hairpin, wasn't there? Because he was right on the back of the BMWs on the brakes, but some little mistake somewhere there on that lap.
And Matt Jackson continues to lead the way then. Down they come, heading towards the hairpin. Andy Prio hanging on to his second place, Collard third. How late does Shedden brake? And there's also a bit of traffic up the road now for the race leader. Coming out of the hairpin, Matt Jackson will have to get past Stuart Lyons, who does it properly, pulls out of the way, so he's not going to be impeded. But now Rob Austin is having a go at Gordon Shedden, and they lean on each other as they almost got caught up behind the traffic. Shedden hangs onto the place, then Gallagher comes out of the pit lane. He has to slow right down and let the leaders go through. So Shedden hangs on to fourth, but Rob Austin was right up alongside him.
Well, Shedden was crowding Rob Austin over to the right-hand side, so that he was blocked in behind Stuart Lyons, and this is coming out of the hairpin, and Austin's got a good run, but in front of him Stuart Lyons is there, so Austin's trying to move over to create the gap.
So while all that's been going on, they've been caught, look, by Tordoff and Neal. So it's four of them running together now for fourth place. The BMWs, second and third, are getting away. And of course, up front, Matt Jackson still has the advantage. Although it was 9/10 last time as Neal up the inside of Tordoff. That's the position. It's for sixth place. They come out of the corner together. Front wheel drive versus rear wheel drive. Heading up the hill. 48 kilos on the BMW, 33 on the Honda, but Matt Neal will have the inside line for the next corner. Down towards Duffer's Dip, they go into the right, Matt Neal's through.
Typical Matt Neal late moment lunge, and Tordoff did very well to catch a glimpse of him in the mirrors because he was virtually turning into the corner, and suddenly Matt Neal had that Honda Civic thrust up the inside, so good driving by both of them.
And now, can Matt Neal get away from Sam Tordoff as the cars sprint their way through Clark's this time around? We're on to lap 13 out of 25.
And the fastest laps were all done on lap 4, 5, 6. We're now on lap 13, so they won't improve. So Jackson will have pole probably for the second race. Plato was actually 9th quickest and I think has retired from the race, actually. I think he's saving the car. No, he is still out there, but he's just running around in 23rd place.
Yellow flag, look, heading over the line, and so there's a yellow flag in sector 1 on this lap. Matt Jackson was the race 2 winner here last year. He leads at the moment, back to green there, coming through turn 2, so the road is clear, but Jackson's lead is diminishing. Prio is certainly catching, and he's taking Collard with him.
He is. That BMW's looking after his tyres very nicely, thank you, at the moment. They're all on the soft tyre, remember, at the front here, but Jackson's starting to struggle.
No ballast on that car. Prio has 27 kilos. Rob Collard has only got 9. Down towards the hairpin they come once again, and a lock up from Prio then as he heads into the corner. Does that give Collard a chance to challenge coming out of the hairpin? Not quite. Last time the gap was half a second as they came over the timing line, so Jackson is in jeopardy here. He's got not 1 but 2 very quick BMWs getting closer and closer and closer.
Yeah, the thing that might save Jackson, at least for a little while, is the fact that his car is quicker on the straights. But sooner or later there's going to be an opportunity for those BMWs.
Heading up towards the chicane, the BMWs for the moment not fighting one another, but that said, Rob Collard is certainly getting closer to Prio now. Heading up towards Clark's this time around. What can happen between the pair of them? Let's see. Prio needs to keep attacking. He doesn't want to think about defending and partly being distracted, partly taking the slower lines. He just wants to be fully committed to closing on Jackson. It looks like the gap has gone up a little bit more this time.
Well, Tornov is the one, as I predicted, getting quicker. He actually set his fastest lap on the last lap, on lap 14. So now he's on those medium tyres. The only one in that group that is, he's probably got the quickest car.
Trouble is, he's got an extra place to try to retake, hasn't he now, because he fell back behind Matt Neal, but he has a look coming over the brow of the hill there. Second and third, out of turn 2 now. Prio 6/10ths back, so he had lost a little bit of time on that last lap for Matt Jackson. We're on lap 16 of 25. Jackson leading, Prio second. It is Collard in third. This is Andy Prio's forward-facing view. Look in the mirror, you can see Collard is right there.
Yeah, we saw Andy make a little turn on the knob just in front of the steering wheel there. That's a brake adjustment. As the tyres go off a little bit, you make a small adjustment on the brake bias. That's what he was doing.
Down through the gears, into the hairpin, hard on the brakes. Turn shot right, drag the car uphill. And last time the gap was 6/10ths of a second. Is Prio going to be any closer this time around? Right, Joe San Sebastian looking on from the pit lane as over the line. The gap is down fractionally. It's back down to around half a second. And Prio is still taking Collard with him. It's Shedden fourth, it's Rob Austin fifth, it's Matt Neal sixth, it's Sam Tornos seventh, and it's Jordan, Morgan and Turkington 10th.
Rob Austin's been impressive, hasn't he? Because Shedden has not been able to gap him at all. Look, they're absolutely glued together, these two. So, great race by Rob Austin. He loves his place and the car goes well. Sherman likes it up north, doesn't he? And he's still in touch.
And he's going to be further forward on the grid for race 2 provisionally, because he's done the third fastest lap time. So he's going to gain out of this as well. Shedden has done the second best lap time. Where's Prio in all of this? Because he is only 10th. So they're the top 10 in terms of lap times for the grid. Andy Prio, we're talking about chasing Matt Jackson for the race lead, but of course for race 2 he's going to be quite a long way back on the grid provisionally. They're not that far on track behind Jason Plato. Look at Shedden and Austin side by side over the brow down towards turn 1. Shedden brakes as late as he dares, and once more Rob Austin has to stare at the back of the car. Down they come, the mirror's been slightly peeled back, I think, on the left-hand side. Gordon Shedden keeps the place. Look at Tornoff. He is once more all over Matt Neal, and the two of them closing on this battle ahead.
That's good racing, isn't it? They all run slightly wide as Tornoff looks up the inside of Neal, but Neal closes the door. A good run out of the chicane by Tornoff as Rob Austin's wide on the gravel. Tornoff definitely got a quick car now with those medium tyres on.
But can he do the overtaking in time? He's 4 seconds back from the race leader. Neal tries to defend and also unsettle Rob Austin at the same time, heading into the hairpin. Tornoff is still close, but not looking as though he's going to make a move. And look at the leaders. It's now a 1/5 of a second between Jackson and Prio. And now half a second covers the top 3. This is game on.
It really is. And as I thought, that Ford is just holding its own at the front up the start-finish line. As long as he doesn't make a mistake, Jackson's going to be hard to pass because he'll be quick on the long run up the hill past the start-finish line. But there's Plato just getting out of the way for the leaders. We've got the other group coming through as well. He'll let them through on the run down to the chicane. And this is the other place where the Ford EcoBoost engine can help get away so he's not under attack on the brakes.
So as Prio thinks about attacking the Ford, he's also under attack from Rob Collard. Into the braking zone now, end of lap number 19. Collard goes wide into the corner. The Shedden, of course, catching up behind as Prio gets forced out wide onto the dirt by Matt Jackson. Boarding goes flying. And Matt Jackson hangs on to the advantage with very wide elbows indeed, and now Collard is through up into second place after all of that. So Matt Jackson repels one BMW, but he's got another feisty driver right up behind him.
Yeah, Matt Jackson is coming out of the hairpin and pulling to the right, to the inside, so that they can't get a cutback on him. But then obviously Prio tried to run around the outside and got eased onto the grass, giving Collard his opportunity.
So what can Rob do? School of hard knocks Rob came out of, years of oval racing, so he knows how to get stuck in, and he works his way down towards the hairpin. We're running out of laps. This is lap 20 of 25, and now that the top 3 have started swapping, is this going to help Shedden and the rest of that train get up behind them?
Yeah, just watch Jackson's line. He defends middle of the road, and then when he comes... Oh, we haven't seen it. But he defends on the outside by pulling to the right-hand side. And Collard's got it.
Absolutely. Squeezes up the gap on the inside. He's got the right line for the first corner on the next lap. Rob Collard versus Matt Jackson. Who's going to brake latest? It's Collard who leads through. On the inside he goes. Rob Collard takes takes over the race lead. Lots of applause for that at the WSR garage. Now, can Prio find a way through as well?
Yeah, but frustration for Prio because he'll be thinking that should have been me that got through, but you can't keep a good man down. Great slide, but Rob Collard is such a good racer.
And he was a winner here last year. He always goes well round Knockhill. The BMWs are ideally suited to Knockhill, but Prio is still staring at the back of that Ford Focus. Collard has worked his way past one BMW and the Ford, and now leads, and he works his way through the hairpin. So Prio has tried just about everything, and there, look, round the outside of Shedden goes Tordoff, who has really now been released with the tyres working better. He's got through all of that traffic, and Tordoff now comes over the line in 4th place. Fantastic.
Yeah, great drive. We didn't see the move, but he's driven really well. Used the pace to get past Rob Austin and Matt Neal. Too big a gap now to close to the group in front, but a good drive on the medium tyre.
Still Shedden is defending from Rob Austin. Matt Neal is creeping into the mix as well, but Sam Tordoff's plan kind of working. He's getting back up the order now. It's Collard leading by half a second. Matt Jackson still hangs on to 2nd place, and Prio is still frustrated, and they're in 3rd position. Down they come towards the hairpin. Tordoff 4th and starting to edge away, of course, from the cars on the soft tyre behind. The race leader is Rob Collard in the BMW then, who works his way up towards the timing line once more. Behind him, Matt Jackson. That gap is now 0.8 of a second. It's widening. Is Prio running out of ideas? Let's see. Of course, he is carrying a bit more weight than Collard, and Jackson's got no weight at all. So 27 kilos of success ballast for Andy Prio, but he's just not close enough around that part of the circuit, and again he runs out a little bit wide while all this is happening. So Collard is building the advantage. Jackson stays 2nd, Prio 3rd, and Tordoff 4th, certainly getting away from those behind, and he's starting now to close the gap to the 3rd placed BMW, that of Andy Prio. More reason for Andy to find a way past before his teammate arrives on the scene.
Yeah, if you look at the last laps, then Collard did a 53.0, Jackson a 53.3, Prio a similar time, but Tordoff matching the lead of Collard, so he was some 2.5 tenths quicker.
Over the line, Jackson still hangs on to that 2nd place, but we're on to lap 24 and 25. Is Andy Prio going to be frustrated, not only in terms of having to stay behind Jackson, but only for 3rd place in the end, as their Shedden is still able to keep Austin at bay. Matt Neal right there as well. Fantastic battle this, and it's gone on just about race long.
Yeah, and it's been very clean, apart from that little bit of contact coming up the straight when they were behind Stuart Lyons. It's been a very good battle. Let's hope they get to the end okay.
Because Austin is attacking Shedden. Neal is attacking Austin. Here he goes up the inside, but he can't make that one stick either. So Rob Austin hangs on to his 6th place. Great scrap between the 3 of them here. In 8th, by the way, behind is Andrew Jordan. 9th is Adam Morgan. 10th is Colin Turkington. Down to the hairpin they come once more. About to start the last lap of the race, and look at Prio versus Jackson once again as they come over the timing line, then over the brow of the hill onto the last lap. Is there anything else that Prio can try?
He's running out of options, isn't he? I do think that Ford will go better once it's on the medium tyre. Remember, this is a circuit that suits the rear-wheel drive cars. He's got tyre wear on the front, on the soft, which has held him back. He had the pace to pull away initially, but I think once they go onto the medium tyre, he'll be even stronger.
But all that said, 2nd place will be a mega result, won't it?
Yeah. He's by far and away the best front-wheel drive car in this race, and he's got pole for race 2.
And Prio isn't going to have one last go coming through the hairpin up towards the line. Rob Collard looks set for a win, but what about 2nd place? Prio goes deep into the hairpin. Can he get the cut back? Matt Jackson covers the line. He's going to hang on to it, I think, as they come over the line. It's going to be a win for Rob Collard, who comes through. He takes the checkered flag side by side for 2nd. Matt Jackson takes the place by 1/10 of a second, and for 4th is Tordoff. Shedden 5th, and Matt Neal 6th, ahead of Rob Austin. Then it's Jordan, Morgan, Turkington to round out the top 10 in an absolutely cracking race.
That was a superb drive. Oh, it's not over yet. Look down the inside. Look, Bushel's being passed by Cook. They're side by side. It's a short run up to the line, though. I think Bushel's just going to get there.
For 15th place, Cleo Cup revisited. The 2 of them raced together last year. They head over the line, and Mike Bushell was ahead by 0.08 of a second. That is how close it is around here. But Rob Collard then, 4th on the grid. Winner here last year that ended a rather lean period for him, and he comes through to score victory here. So Rob Collard's 3rd win of the year. Great job done.
That was a really good drive by Collard.
Yeah.
He didn't make that up at the start. There's Ricky, his son, really pleased. It was a great drive. He didn't get away too well at the start, but he just waited his moment and pounced and did a beautiful job. Jackson, an excellent 2nd place.
And then for 3rd, Andy Prio, who must feel somewhat frustrated.
Yeah, I think we might have a replay. I'm being told we've got a replay of the move. We never saw the start of the move where Collard went past. We saw it when he was up the inside coming up the straight. But here we're going to get a look. Now look, Jackson comes out the corner, tries to run. He stays wide, but it's too late when he cuts across. Look at that. Collard's already got to the inside. Jackson thought he had the job done, and Rob Collard muscled his way in. A really good move.
He prized open the door, didn't it? The door was ajar, but Rob made sure that door opened.
Yeah.
That's how you win on ovals. I say Rob comes from the school of hard knocks. Years of going around ovals where there's limited grip with a post and wires fence, and you've got to be good and brave, and Rob is certainly that. And so he takes the race win by 1.7 seconds. But in fairness to Matt Jackson, as Tim was saying, he's done the fastest lap of the race pole for race 2. He takes 2nd place, and this is a driver and a team that's been out of the championship for the first half of the year, and it is a new engine, of course, this Mountune built engine, so the whole package is gelling very nicely indeed. Round 19 of the championship, Rob Collard the winner from Matt Jackson and then Andy Prio. Tordov, Shedden, Neil, Austin, Jordan, Morgan, Turkington is the top 10. Behind them for 11th spot, Jack Goff ahead of Jeff Smith, then it's Warren Scott, Depper, Bushell just ahead of Cook, then Cole, Newsham from the back, Holland from the pits, Alex Martin 20th. Dan Welch 21st ahead of Moffat, then Jason Plato 23rd, going for lap times, not results. Lines, Aaron Smith, Ingram, Gallagher and Palmer, all with their own various woes. So for the championship, the gap is down. 10 points now it is between Jason Plato and then Colin Turkington. Shedden is 3rd, getting closer. Tordov 4th, Neil 5th, Jordan and Prio 6th and 7th, ahead of Goff, Morgan and race winner Collard.
The only thing will be that Collard will, Jackson will get the ballast now. He'll get 66 kilos of ballast, which will affect that car in race 2. But great celebrations for Rob and West Surrey team. Great result.
And you rule out Rob Collard at your peril, because he can still deliver. We often say if only he qualified better. Well, 4th in qualifying sets him up beautifully for a race win. Dick Bennett's there, the boss of WSR, the team that operates the BMWs, and a delighted Rob Collard. Life is pretty busy as a touring car racer with 3 races in a day, but he's also got to oversee his son Ricky, who's got 3 MSA Formula races in the course of a day as well. So he's always pretty busy, is Rob, these days. There is Matt Jackson. So he gets pole for race 2, 2nd place in that race. I think he's pretty pleased about that, even so, because as we've been saying, the whole team has missed the first half of the year. Walks over to say well done to Rob Collard for what was a good battle, and of course he kept Andy Prio at bay throughout the course of that race. But it's great to have Matt and Motorbase back in the championship and doing such a good job. But it is Rob Collard who takes the race win, and we can hear from Rob with Steve Ryder.
Rob, well done. What a start to the afternoon. What a race. And it's great to have your old rival Matt Jackson back.
Yeah, absolutely. Matt was going really well at the start. He was really, really fast. I had no answer for him at the start of the race, but played a waiting game as always with a BMW and a bit of experience, and the race come back to me, thankfully.
Tell us about the start you made and the way you felt the tyres coming back to you in the second half of the race.
Well, you know, everybody's going for fast lap in lap 1. Yeah, I think I'm P4 for race 2 now, which is good. I didn't have the ultimate pace of some of the front-wheel drive cars and stuff, and you know, it's just good. It's about getting the podium in race 1, you know, and getting through to race 2 with no spills like we did at Snetterton. It was just a disaster for my championship at Snetterton, so to bounce back now is a good moment.
But at what point did you think, well, not only have you reeled him in, but you might get past?
Quite early on, I could feel Andy was struggling under the brakes into the hairpin, and he started to making a few mistakes, and he left the door open one lap, and I didn't seize it, and I thought I'd make him pay for it on the next occasion. So
just about got your nose down the inside there.
Yeah, it's as touring cars as always. It's tough racing, and you know, it's good to race with Andy and Matt. You know, they know how to sometimes let a place go and not fight too hard and cause a crash. So it's a fantastic feeling. Brilliant 1-3 for Gardex and for BMW.
Absolutely. Tell us about rear-wheel drive around Knockhill and the sort of advantage that it gives you. But every race needs to be won, doesn't it?
Well, in this championship, it's so competitive. You've got to get maximum points every time. And yeah, the rear-wheel drive is good at Knockhill, but as Matt has just shown in the Focus, you know, it's a strong package. You know, we had to really work for that race, and I don't see it being that easy in race 2 on the harder tyre.
Yeah, it promises a lot for the rest of the afternoon. Well done, Rob. Terrific win. Let's go to Louise, who I think is with Matt Jackson.
I am indeed, Steve. Well done, Matt. Fantastic result for your virtually brand new car. Did nobody tell you this is a track that favours the rear-wheel drive cars?
I gathered that pretty soon. Obviously, we got a great start, and you know, in my mind, I knew that if we could get in front of Sam, then we stand half a chance. But yeah, you know, the Focus put the traction down brilliantly, and we reeled Andy in, and probably went a little bit hard too soon, really, on the soft tyre. Hence, he dropped off at the end. But, you know, P2, we've gone forward from where we started, which is great, and a good race. And hopefully we can keep building on this, you know, the knowledge that we're learning, and go forward in race 2.
I mean, a race-long battle with Andy, which you managed to keep him behind the whole way. Not quite the same luck with Rob, though. He was coming through come hell or high water, wasn't he?
Yeah, Rob's very forceful. And, you know, when Rob's behind, he's coming through. And he was in a good position because I think, you know, there was Andy and myself. And if Andy put a move on, which he did, then Rob was always going to capitalise. But, no, we just couldn't quite hold back the BMs around here. And obviously Rob took the win.
Well done. Well, let's bring in Andy, the man you managed to get past. It was nice to see a handshake from you two at the end. I mean, a podium would generally be deemed to be a great result, but I'm thinking...
More than that. No, I really suffered, but great job by Rob. You know, he did a really good race. I had to go at passing Matt, and that cost me my position with Rob. And then Rob managed to get up the inside of Matt, and that was it. His race was done, and I was left scrapping behind. But honestly, I felt really, the car was sliding a lot the whole way through from start to end, and just need to understand the soft tyre. Maybe for this track, you need to do something different. Rob raced here last year with the tyre, and he did a great race, so he's obviously done really well here. But I'd like a bit more than that. You don't go from pole to 9th quickest lap in the race, so I've got to find out what went on.
OK, well, we look forward to see you in the next one. We're off for a quick break, but we'll be back very shortly with some more reactions. Make sure you come back for that.
Knockhill has already produced one hugely entertaining touring car race today. Now, here comes another. Round 20 of the Dunlop MSA British Touring Car Championship. Commentators Tim Harvey and David Addison.
And the grid is formed with Matt Jackson then on pole position, but this time with 66 kilos of weight. We understand Aaron Smith is going to be missing, and the electrical issue on the grid putting him out. The front row, though, is Matt Jackson and Gordon Shedden. Row 2 of the grid is where you find Rob Austin and Rob Collard lining up alongside. The third row, Andrew Jordan and Sam Tordoff ahead of Colin Turkington, and then Jason Plato, one to watch this time out. The top 10 rounded out by Andy Preo and Matt Neal. They are ahead of Jeff Smith and Aidan Moffat. Then comes Dave Newsham and Adam Morgan on row 7. The 8th row, Martin Depper and James Cole. Aaron Smith should have been next, but it's Josh Cook alongside instead. Warren Scott, Mike Bushell, Stuart Lyons and Dan Welch take you to 22nd on the grid ahead of Rob Holland, then Alex Martin. Tom Ingram is on the 13th row alongside Kieran Gallagher, Derek Palmer and Jack Goff at the very back. Jack Goff, after the contact with Aidan Moffat, up before the clerk of the course, Ian Watson, and if you have 3 offences, then you get put to the back of the grid for the next race. Tom Ingram is on the penultimate row because even though he set the 7th best lap time, he didn't finish the race. You have to be classified to count your lap, hence he goes to the back. Who carries what? Rob Collard, the race 1 winner, now has 75, Matt Jackson 66, Andy Preo 57. 48 kilos for Sam Tordoff, then Gordon Shedden on 39, Matt Neal 33, Rob Austin 27, Andrew Jordan 21, 15 kilos for Adam Morgan, and 9 this time around for Colin Turkington. Now, as I say, on the penultimate row is Tom Ingram. It was a good lap in that first race, Tom, but then problems, what was it, the clutch bearing or something that made you pit early and have to start the work?
Hi guys. Yeah, we had a clutch release bearing, which unfortunately caused us to have to start from pit lane because we found it on the green flag lap, which was, yeah, slightly annoying. But you know, my boys over at Speedworks have done a pretty awesome job to get them back together in time for this race.
But now, starting on the 13th row, there's all of this traffic ahead, so it's going to be a pretty hard race, this, isn't it? What's the expectation? What's the ambition out of this?
It's going to be good fun. I think we could definitely say that. You know, we had really good pace in that first race. So yeah, hopefully we can turn that into some decent race pace and try to battle through. I mean, I suppose we'd like to say top 10, being very ambitious, but you never know. You know, we've got a lot of people watching at home. We've got a lot of guys watching over in hospitality from the Road Haulage Association and Hansford Sensors. So yeah, we want to put on a good show for those guys this weekend.
And around here as well, Tom, keeping out of trouble surely is half the battle, especially with cars all around you because it's such a tight and fiddly lap.
Absolutely, you know, it's going to be down to this first section that it's all going to try and bunch back. So we've got to try and be prepared for that, especially down to this bottom corner here. It's going to be, yeah, it's all going to bunch up. So just got to be wary of that and try to stay out of trouble as best we can. But, you know, I'm going to try and have some good fun in this and see how far up we can get.
All right, good luck, Tom. We'll leave you to it.
Thanks so much, guys.
So Tom Ingram then, who will start on the 13th row of the grid. Certainly one to watch. We keep saying that he is part of the next generation of touring car star, and it's almost clicked for him, but just these occasional little dramas that hold him back. But the raw potential is certainly there as the cars then now work their way up towards the grid. It's round 20 of the championship, 24 laps in prospect. Race 1 was a very good race indeed. Now you shuffle the grid around, you shuffle the weight around.
So much to look forward
Absolutely.
to. How's Jason Plato going to get on with 0 ballast at 9th on the grid? His teammate Colin Turkington with only 9 kilos, 8th on the grid. What will Sam Tordoff do on the soft tyre? He's the first soft tyre runner, and that tyre very impressive at the start of the race when he struggled last time out. He could be very good at the start.
And he also has been telling people that he's practicing a new starting technique. He says, I'm trying to adopt the Rob Collard school of starting. And
well, it didn't work too well in the first race.
No, but he reckons he's learnt another lesson.
Right, okay, we'll see.
We'll see. And what about Jack Goff up from the very back of the grid? He could prove to be a real hero in this, or he could be in all sorts of strife, depending on what happens further up the road. So, we're just about set. It's round 20. It's race 2 at Knockhill. And the Dunlop MSA British Touring Car Championship is about to burst back into life. Green flag shown at the very back says that everybody is back from the warming up lap. Drivers now look towards the lights, which will go red. Engine notes rise. Can the BMWs make another rocket ship start? What can Matt Jackson do as the lights go out? Jackson gets away well. Rob Austin up alongside Collard on the way down towards Duffer's Dip for the first time. But Gordon Shedden cuts across and takes second place. Who's going to go third and lead the rear wheel drive attack? They're still side by side. Collard just with his nose in front, but then Austin's got the inside line for the next corner. Austin goes third, then it's Collard and Jordan is fifth.
Yeah, great start by Matt Jackson, but I'm not sure how long. Oh, and off goes Jeff Smith on the outside of Scotsman. But it's going to be tough work for Jackson with that 60 kilos on, 66 kilos. He had 45 on at Snetton, and they weren't too competitive, so I think it's going to be hard for him.
And the man chasing him, Gordon Shedden, only with 39 kilos on board. And Andrew Jordan's looking pretty toey as well, isn't he? As he tries to have a look up the inside of Collard, and also defence from Tordoff. And then you've got Turkington ahead of Prio, ahead of Plato, ahead of Neil as they work their way up over the timing line. Matt Jackson leads at the end of lap 1. Gordon Shedden is 0.391 of a second behind him, and these two getting away already. Rob Austin third, going well as ever around here. Then it's Collard and Jordan defending from Tordoff. Turkington, Prio, Plato come next, and Matt Neal rounds out the top 10. Through Scotsman they come. Plato trying to make ground up, and Rob Austin now just edging away slightly from Rob Collard. Can he go after the top 2? And Matt Neal is about to be joined by Aidan Moffat, and way up onto 2 wheels behind him there was Adam Morgan in the second of the Mercedes-Benz A-Class. The chicane is always spectacular. You can see why, as Shedden now with less weight is closing on Jackson.
Yeah, he looks to be very fast. Look how good that Honda is on the brakes. It's always been one of the best cars on the brakes, and unleashed with less weight. Let's tee it up. This should be interesting up the straight. Jackson with 66 kilos, still pulling away on the straight. That's impressive.
It is, isn't it? Gap at the end of the lap, 0.293 in the second. Heading down now through Duffer's Dip, the Seat curves, they're now called, down towards turn 3, it's Scotsman. Hard on the brakes, turn right, Gordon Shedden trying to get right onto the tail of Jackson, and off the road is Derek Palmer, the car repaired after race 1. He's had a spin, I think, coming out of the hairpin at the end of lap number 2, as the leaders, almost nose to tail now, work their way down towards Clark's, and the left at Hislop's is a move on, this time heading down to the hairpin.
Oh, there's probably going to be yellow flags there for Derek Palmer, so it could be this lap, there won't be an opportunity opportunity. Let's have a look at the marshal's post on the right. Yes, yellow flags.
So no overtaking. Andrew Jordan has made up a place because there he is, fifth, keeping at bay for the moment. The Volkswagen at Turkington, the marshal's busy trying to move Derek Palmer out of harm's way as the leaders come over the line. Jackson to Shedden, 3/10. Third is Austin, fourth is Collard. Jordan is fifth, sixth is Turkington, he's moved up, so is Prio, so is Plato. The ones that have dropped back are Morgan and Tordoff, who has not yet come over the timing line. Sam Tordoff now comes into the pit lane, I fear, because he showed with a little cog next to his name on the timing screen. So Sam Tordoff with a problem. You can see he's missing from that leading group, and Tordoff in strife has headed into the pit lane.
Oh, what a shame for Sam. He had a good chance of a race, and he's been building this championship threat, which there he is in the pit lane, and he's not going to get points from this, and obviously it's going to hurt his position for race 3 as well. Look, nearly slamming into the back. Gordon had to take a little bit of evasive action there. He probably expected Jackson to break a little bit later, but Jackson's got 66 kilos on, and it's not easy to stop the car.
Just to show the effects of a clear road, now that he's off the grass, Jeff Smith has done the fastest lap of the race, but he's way down as Shedden is sideways through Duffer's Dip. He's on the back now of Matt Jackson for the race lead, and as ever, Gordon throwing everything at this. He's never one to settle for position, is he? Whether he's fighting for the lead or for penultimate place, but Gordon Shedden is right there behind Matt Jackson, closer than ever now. Up the inside, going into Clarks, he's through! Gordon Shedden grabs the race lead with a traditionally incisive move, charges up the inside, and Gordon Shedden is through into the race lead. No argument about that.
No, but he set it up by carrying a massive amount of speed through the chicane. He cut the corner massively, straight-lined it, took a few extra miles per hour, and that gave him the momentum to then roll up the inside. Watch through here. Watch it. Jackson takes a very sensible line, if you like, carrying the momentum. Shedden gets the run, dives up the inside. Great overtake.
Wife Gillian looks on, yeah. But he's all smiles now, because with a battle developing for second place, Gordon should be able to get away now. Matt Jackson's second. He's under attack from Rob Austin, who has now done the fastest lap of the race. So Jackson, 66 kilos versus Rob Austin with 27 kilos of extra success ballast. And look who is closing as well behind them. It's Rob Collard, the race 1 winner. Rob Austin now then in the rear-wheel drive Audi A4 to make a move potentially against the front-wheel drive Focus. Not at the hairpin, he can't, but let's see on the drag out of the hairpin.
Yeah, Rob Austin should be pretty quick up the straight as well. That Audi's got the Toka engine, it's always been fairly quick. Look, he's flashing the lights, he's putting Jackson under pressure. But he needs to do something decisive like Shedden did to get past, and if he doesn't do it soon, Shedden...
Jeff Smith again, he's had a spin at turn 3, he's got going.
Right in front of the leaders, but they've come through. I'm surprised Matt Jackson hasn't learned from looking at Shedden's line how much quicker he is through that chicane. Maybe he's protecting the suspension, but Shedden is a lot quicker.
So Gordon Shedden, fastest man on the circuit. He's done the best lap of the race as he gets away. Second and third together. Is Rob Collard up with them? No, not quite yet. This is lap 7 of 24. Into the hairpin they come. Jeff Smith, after his spin, has rejoined. He's ahead on the road of Andrew Jordan, and almost a nudge there. Turkington and Prio. Next battle, Plato, Neil, then Moffat, and then Martin Depper running in 11, having a great drive.
This is on board with Andy Prio coming up the straight. He's right behind Turkington, but can't get anywhere near him. I like that line Andy takes into turn 1, where he goes deep into the exit of the pit lane to widen the entry. That's a great line.
So down towards the chicane they go, through Butchers, then the road climbs uphill. Use the curve on the right, two-wheel your way back onto the straight. Shedden's advantage up front is a second and a half now. He tries to gap everybody else. It's still Jackson ahead of Austin.
Well, barring mishaps, I cannot see anyone touching Shedden now. You know, his dander's up, the car's a little bit lighter, he's flying, and I can't see anyone catching him, but bar a safety car or a problem. But he'll be away with this one. Prio and Turkington still fighting. Andy Jordan only just in front. He said he'd know by the second corner whether that setup would work. Seems to be doing a pretty good job.
He's He's there in 5th at the moment, over the line. This is the fight for 2nd, and it's almost a three-way battle. Jackson, Austin, and then Collard. Remember that Collard has got 75 kilos on board as the race 1 winner, but he's carrying the weight well around here. Rob Austin's lighter Audi, 27 kilos, and much more curve used there.
Yeah, it's a line that Jackson clearly doesn't want to use, and presumably he hasn't been using it all weekend, and he's been quick enough. But I'd be, if I was Collard, I'd be tempted to just sit there a little bit. He's got no threat from behind. He needs to save some tyre for the end of the race, and let Rob Austin do the attacking. Tordoff is exiting the pit lane, so clearly a test to see. Oh, side by side, Austin's got up the inside now, and Collard could come with him.
Down towards Duffer's Dip they come, then into turn 1. Rob Austin is on the inside. Matt Jackson levels with him, and Rob Collard glues himself to the back of the Audi. Can he go through as well? Well, first of all, Rob Austin's going to try to make the move. Jackson stays ahead through Duffer's Dip. Great defence, and Matt Jackson, he may have sat out half of the season. You wouldn't think the way he's driving, would you? Because there he is, elbows out, hangs on the 2nd spot, and Rob Austin has got to try all over again. He still can't find a way past the Focus.
Well, I mean, you'd think you'd put your money on the car on the inside to get that position, but Jackson was very, very brave to turn in, give racing room on the inside, but to turn in round the outside.
And look behind, Andrew Jordan is closing all the time. Rob Collard a lap ago didn't look like he was under any threat, but he is now, because this is a 4-way battle for 2nd place. Matt Jackson's the cork in the bottle. Rob Austin tries the outside line this time, coming out of the hairpin. He's on the wrong line, if you like, for turn 1, but it worked for Jackson in his defence. Rob Austin got his nose in front, but can he brake late enough as they dive into the corner? The answer is no. Jackson hangs onto it, he's sideways. Everywhere Rob Austin wants to be, there's a Focus in the way, and now there's a BMW glued to the back of him, and there's an MG catching up as well.
Yes, Jackson's driving a really good defensive race here. He's ever so brave. He's placing his car very neatly, one side or the other coming out of the chicane, so they can't predict what he's going to do.
Through Clarks, Jackson wide, kicks up the gravel. Rob Austin even wider. That'll be raised eyebrows about track limits. And have a look at Andrew Jordan, because he's almost there as well. Warren Scott has just made a pit stop, but we understand the safety car is on standby. There are still yellow flags out at the hairpin. Through they come, uphill. There is Stuart Lyons in the gravel. Stuart's never raced here until this weekend, and he's in the gravel. He's out of the race. Sam Tordoff has done the fastest lap of the race. He's back on circuit. Are we going to have a safety car period? Gordon Shedden leads by 6.3 seconds. Turkington now in stripe and in the pits.
It's just not going well, is it? Aaron Smith's car non-started, Warren Scott and Turkington through the pits.
And it looks as though Turkington may have got some damage on the left rear corner. We told the safety car is going to be on track very shortly. Can Rob Austin make his move against Matt Jackson? Again, Matt's great defence keeps him ahead for that 2nd position. Through Clarks they go, up towards Hislops. Collard is having to think about defending from Jordan now, and the safety car will be on track this time around. The safety car is being deployed for Stuart Lyons in the gravel.
Yeah, well, that's a shame. I mean, Shedden's had a lead of nearly 6.5 seconds. He was well up the road. Look, they're still fighting coming out of the chicane behind him, but it's bunched everybody up. I have no doubt that Shedden will be able to pull away from this group behind, but it's now, there's damage on the back of Jackson's car. Must have been hit coming out of the hairpin, I should think. It could just be light minor body rubbing on the tyre, or it could be more serious. Need to see the inside. Yeah, look, the bumper's been pushed onto the tyre.
There's Rob Austin right up behind him, wasn't he? So contact, I fear, between the two. How much of an effect is that going to have?
I mean, maybe Rob didn't see the safety car out, but that's quite a lot of damage. Rob has already been in trouble with the stewards after race 1 for running into the back of Matt Neal on the slowing down lap, and fined £500 and had 3 penalty points for his licence.
Let's have a look. So the yellow flags wave, the boards are just going out. Up the inside goes Austin. He tried to make a move, didn't he? And Matt Jackson ends up with the damage.
Yeah, you can see Matt Jackson raising his arm in the car. He wasn't happy about that. But
and there's Colin Turkington out of the race. Bad news for him in the championship. Now this is what happens between Trio and Turkington down to the hairpin.
Turkington's got the inside completely covered. Prio's gone round the outside. Is he going to try and go? Oh no! No, Turkington couldn't get the car stopped, really, I think. Difficult to tell whether he couldn't stop the car or Prio came in. But look, it's broken the left rear toe link on the rear suspension. So this is turning out to be quite a disastrous meeting for BMR at the moment. But Plato is still going, and he's in 7th place.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's just lucked into another place, hasn't he, by Turkington being a retirement. And if anything goes wrong for Matt Jackson, that's going to help him as well. This was Rob Austin's gravelly moments.
This was terrific because you can see Rob has not lifted at all. He's had his foot absolutely flat out. He's not lifted at all. I like that.
So Rob Austin then back on track. Right, let's catch up on news from the pit lane. Bad news for Colin Turkington. Louise is down there to find out what's happened.
Yeah, I am, David, and Colin, as Tim has just said, this is turning into a bit of a disastrous race meeting for the team. Certainly a frustrating race for you.
Yeah, the frustrating bit is the pace was very good. You know, we were quicker on the standard tyre there, and the car was feeling strong. You know, the only place that the BMW was quicker was the final hairpin. So it feels like a good top 10 result lost.
Just talk us about the way that it was lost.
Well, yeah, Andy was, his strength is the hairpin, and he's tried to go around the outside, but it's been a big hit to my left rear coming off the corner, and it's just broken the rear suspension. So so I'm trying to put it behind me and look forward to the next one.
You're looking calm. Are you feeling calm about the incident?
No, it's never nice to be out of the race, but it's done now. So just look to the next one.
Thanks, Colin.
So big frustration, Colin Turkington then out of the race. The championship gap had come down, of course, after race 1, with Jason Plato way down after his back of the grid start, and Colin Turkington being in the top 10. But now, of course, he is out, and Jason Plato 7th. But don't ignore Gordon Shedden will go racing this time as the lights are out on top of the safety car. But this will bring Gordon Shedden back into play within the championship battle as well. One more race still to go here, and then 3 more race meetings, in other words, Rockingham, Silverstone and Brands Hatch before the end of the season. So this is going to help Gordon Shedden. He desperately wants a win. He's only had 3 touring car wins here, 07, 2010, 2011. He leads the way. They've all bunched up behind him. Expect him to romp clear on the restart, but look behind. We should get the continuation of the battle between Jackson, Austin, Collard. Jordan's going to be up there as well now, so there could be a whole line of cars all squabbling for second place, including Andy Prio. The one that's out of sequence, of course, is Jeff Smith, who's a lap down in the red Honda Civic. He, after his spin, is a lap behind. He's out of sequence. Others will have to find a way by.
Good restart by Shedden and Jackson. They got away quickly, and I'm sure, as I said before, Shedden will gradually disappear. But it does mean that Jackson's not initially got this problem of Rob Austin behind him. And certainly if Collard can get onto the back of Austin, that will allow Jackson a little bit of free air. Jeff Smith getting out of the way very neatly there after the chicane before turn 7. Look, there's Plato, he's got his nemesis, Matt Neal right behind him as they come along up to the chicane. Is Matt Neal going to make a move up the inside? We know how good that Honda is on the brakes. Plato's defending, but Adam Moffat's right in there as well as his teammate comes up on the outside, Adam Morgan. And
Matt Neal needs to get past Plato to take points off Jason to help Gordon Shedden, Matt's teammate in the championship as well.
Yeah, I dare say Matt won't be thinking about helping his teammates at the moment. He just wants to get as far up as he can to benefit from the reverse grid. Who knows what it'll be, 6, 7, 8, 9 or 10 positions reverse, but he needs to get up as far as he can. And we know that Honda's a quick car. It should be quicker than Jason's car here.
Let's see as they work their way up towards the chicane that Jason's got no weight on, has he? Matt Neal then with 33 kilos is right there behind him. Rob Austin is now back onto the tail of Matt Jackson. Behind them, you've got Rob Collard, and Andrew Jordan now is, rather than attacking Collard, having to defend from Prio. The next wave of cars headed by Jason Plato, Matt Neal, Aidan Moffat, Adam Morgan, Martin Depper. Then you've got the Chevrolets in the hands of Dave Newsham and Josh Cook, and Tom Ingram in 15th place from 25th on the grid. He's about to get past James Cole up on the inside. Another good move by Tingram. He's gone 14th from 25th. Great drive this. Nice. And Mike Bushell is out.
Mike Bushell's pulled over, hopefully in a safe place. Looks okay, looks a bit like a mechanical. But we're back to where we were before now, aren't we? With the battle for second place. Jackson defending resolutely from Rob Austin and Rob Collard.
What has changed a little is that Jordan is no longer with them. He's having to defend from Prio, so that gives Collard the opportunity to concentrate on attacking. Rob Austin is very much in attack mode, looking for a way past Jackson, who really does defend very well, doesn't he, as we saw in race 1, and he's proving the point again here.
Yes, it's difficult to say whether it's belligerence or sort of stern resistance, but it's very good driving. Collard round the outside. He's trying to go all the way around. Rob won't have any of that, I'm sure. He might have done. He's gone. So now they're going to have a battle up into the first corner. We've seen it's possible to go round the outside into the corner. They're side by side. Austin's car slightly quicker up to turn 1. And has the lead. That's how you'd expect it to be when you've got two cars side by side, but somehow Jackson managed to go around the outside, didn't he, and retain his position on Austin a few laps ago.
And Rob, now having to think about defending, is losing touch with Matt Jackson. The gap is widening. Now that Collard has got a fight on, is that going to delay him? And Austin runs wide there, coming out of the chicane, so past him goes Collard, and Jordan goes up the inside in the MG. Through he goes. Jordan gains a place. Now Prio tries to buy into this as well, and Rob Austin, one little mistake coming out of the chicane has bad consequences all the way through the next 2 to 3 corners. Plato and Neil are getting closer and closer to the Audi as well. Here comes Plato up the inside as well. Rob Austin's race, I'm afraid, is unravelling.
Yeah, as you say, just one little mistake, and when the pack is so close to you, they're just swarming all over you like wasps around a honeypot.
So down to turn 1 they come then, and as they work their way through for the 20th time, Andy Prio now is the one keeping Rob Austin at bay. Plato is next, ahead of Matt Neal. Up front, Gordon Shedden is building the lead. 2 seconds it is. Now Jordan, released. He's on a real mission to get onto the back of Rob Collard. We had Jeff Smith incidentally pitting as the leading group works its way towards Clark's. Now Plato looks for a way past Rob Austin. How aggressive is Jason going to be here? He wants to finish on back points, but he wants to finish as far up as he can.
He absolutely has to keep going for it. He's only in 7th place, and until he gets to 6th, he's not secure of a reverse grid benefit, put it that way.
So he comes now out of the hairpin. Race leader Gordon Shedden still building the advantage. Really good day for motor-based performance. Matt Jackson, their second, 2.6 seconds back. This is Tom Ingram's view. He comes over the timing line now. He is in 13th place. It is Dave Newsham ahead of him. There could be another place or 2 on the cards here. Tom said pre-race top 10 was an ambition. He's not far off.
He's not far off, but there's plenty of cars just in front of him that could either contact themselves, have a problem like Rob Austin did, or he could just pass them for sheer pace. Look, carrying good speed through there.
We'll run down towards Clark's through the right-hander. Dave Newsham is on the back of Martin Depper. Martin having a good race. It's good to have Dave Newsham back up near the front as well. And here possibly is Ingram's chance.
Yeah, good exit from Clark. Forces Newsham to go defensive. Ingram's still looking to get up the inside. He's been good on the brakes there, but he's got Josh Cook. Oh, and he's got up the inside coming out the corner. Newsham moves over a little bit. Is Cook going to get a look in? I don't think so. All these cars with the same Toka engine in, so all equally powered.
But Ingram having to attack and defend because Josh Cook is right there behind. And also Jack Goff. Now he's worked his way up into 15th from 28th on the grid. So another great drive by another of the young guns in the championship. Jack Goff making good progress. We're on lap 22 of 27. Leaders have left through the chicane. Ingram still looking for a way past Newsham, who uses lots more curve there. Because Newsham is defending, so Martin Depper gets a free ride for a lap, and he just edges away a little more as Gordon Shedden, no doubt to the delight of the home crowd, is looking good for a win here. He's Knockhill Circuit's business development guru, and he's a race leader in this, the 20th round of the Dunlop MSA British Touring Car Championship. Matt Jackson is second, Rob Collard is third, and Tom Ingram now potentially to make a move coming out of the hairpin. Again, Dave Newsham just able to fend him off.
Rob Austin dropping back has made life a little bit easier for Matt Jackson in 2nd place. Collard doesn't seem to have quite the aggression that Rob Austin did. I think that Collard is going to be very happy to finish 3rd with maximum ballast and lose a bit of that ballast for the last race. But Jackson's still driving an excellent race in P2 with 2nd highest ballast on board.
Absolutely right. So Matt looking good for the podium. Now what about 4th? Jordan or Prio? Rob Austin's trying to get back into that mix, but Prio wants to find a way past the MG as they work their way down towards the hairpin.
I'd say this position fourth was anybody's actually at the moment. Any one of these three can get it.
Prio is attacking, and because Jordan's defending and holding up the BMW, so Rob Austin is almost there as well. And then behind them, of course, there is Plato, Neil, Moffat and Morgan rounding out the top 10. Over the timing line they come. The lead gap is 3.4 seconds. You start at 24 out of 27. Jordan coming through Sayat curves. And this is Prio's view, staring at the back of the MG.
All looks so sublime and calm inside the car, doesn't it? But when you're racing here, it feels like you're really, really busy. And you see what I was talking about at the top of the programme. You've got these three blind crests. We've been through the chicane. You can't see the exit as the driver there until you get out of the corner. So it's difficult to judge your speed and distance, but he does a good job there.
Prio still being monstered by Rob Austin behind. Down to the hairpin once more. And is Jason Plato close enough to think about doing anything about those? For the moment, he's not. He's dropping back just a little and having to think about Matt Neal behind him. Matt Neal 8th, and then it's Aidan Moffat in 9th place. In the background, Tom Ingram's having another go at Dave Newsham as they come uphill, and there's contact between them. Just as we cut away to the other side of the brow of the hill, Ingram, with a little bit of damage, has got up alongside and now past Newsham. Down they come in towards Duffer's Dip. Jack Goff goes ahead of Josh Cook. So Ingram is through. That puts him now into 12th place from 25th on the grid.
Yes, great drive by him and Goff. Slightly surprised Plato hasn't got a little bit more pace. Remember, he's not got any ballast on at all. So you might have expected a little bit more pace, but he'd be desperate to move up a place, or, well, just one place, really. Oh, side by side and up the inside goes Collard on Jackson. Jackson must have had a bad exit from Clark Curve because Collard was already alongside and taking that place.
That's for second, so Rob Collard wins race 1, 75 kilos of weight on board, and now he runs second, although Matt Jackson tries to fight back as they come over the line. Then it's Jordan, then Prio, then Austin to round out the top 6. Can Collard get away? This is what happened.
Yeah, he's already alongside and past, so we missed what happened at Clark Curve, but Jackson didn't fight back. I think Jackson will be very happy just to take third here.
From Prio, but now the BMW is under attack from Rob Austin once more. This, the penultimate lap of the race, and Gordon Shedden on the grid said he couldn't wait to get going. 39 kilos of weight on board, and from the front of the grid, he's absolutely dominated this race, and he leads the way, about to start the last lap ahead of Collard, then Jackson, then it's Jordan, Prio, Austin, and Plato now onto the back of the Audi.
This could be a really interesting last lap because Jackson is struggling with his tyres. Jordan is on the back of him. Prio, Austin and Plato all hoping to grab something on this last lap.
Matt Neal not close enough really to make an impact. And then lower down, there is Martin Depper coming under attack from Tom Ingram in 11th spot. Through Scotsman they go then for the last time. Gordon Shedden nearly 4 seconds up the road. Adam Morgan's coming under attack from Depper. In fact, it's well now, so it's all still to play for 10th position. To get yourself into that reverse grid draw as they work their way through Clark's. But Gordon Shedden is on target for a race win as he powers his way now down towards the hairpin. Yes, he knows the circuit like the back of his hand, but it's been another very impressive Shedden drive. The way that he got the lead was tremendous, and he works his way now up towards the timing line for a 40th win. Gordon Shedden scores victory in round 20 of the championship. For second place, it's going to be Rob Collard across the line, and Matt Jackson will hang on to third ahead of Andrew Jordan. Then it's Prio, Austin 6th, Plato, Neal for 8th, Aidan Moffat is 9th, and 10th will go the way of Adam Morgan, just ahead of Depper, who is just ahead of Ingram, who takes 12th from 25th. Then it's Newsham 13th, Jack Goff passes half the field, started 28th, finishes 14th, great drives by him and Ingram. 15th Josh Cook, 16th Rob Holland ahead of James Cole, Dan Welch 18th, Warren Scott, and it should be Alex Martin, it is, who comes over the line in 20th place. But Gordon Shedden, who is always a big draw here at Knockhill, a Scottish driver who has been here fighting for a championship, defending his championship, always going for race wins, tends not to get that many at Knockhill, so when he does win here, they are particularly sweet indeed.
Well, I was going to say, it's delight for the home fans. Yeah. At least Shedden has brought them one victory. It's going to be tough in the third race, but he drove really well there. He's looked fired up all day, in fairness.
Yes, yeah.
And another good drive by Collard with maximum ballast, and Jackson with next to second highest ballast. I think the guy that probably be disappointed with himself is Rob Austin, who made that mistake clearly had a very fast car. They made that mistake and lost several positions, but still finished right in the pack.
And the other one who'll be frustrated, of course, Sam Tordoff. He had to make that pit stop. He rejoined effectively 5 laps down. He did the fastest lap of the race, so we need to get to the bottom of why he pitted. But big disappointment for Sam Tordoff, having gained good points in that earlier race. And, of course, he was running the soft tyre.
Yeah, and, you know, that it compromised you, obviously, for race 3. He's got to come from the back. We've just seen, obviously, Goff and England come from the back to 12th and 14th respectively, so it is possible to make ground, but relatively for scoring big championship points, it's a disaster. Yeah. And of course the other car that didn't start was the other BMR car of Aaron Smith, so he'll be starting in the back alongside Turkington.
I think another one that didn't start was Kieran Gallagher. He seems to be missing as well from grid 26, got into the race, but Gordon Shedden is the man of the moment. The cars go through the post-race scrutineering checks. Let's confirm the result of round 20. Gordon Shedden, the race winner, from Rob Collard and Matt Jackson. 4th, Andrew Jordan. Then Andy Prio ahead of Rob Austin. Jason Plato 7th. Matt Neal 8th. Aidan Moffat a good 9th ahead of fellow Mercedes driver Adam Morgan 10th. 11th, Martin Depper. Tom Ingram, great drive for 12th ahead of Dave Newsham. Also from the back, Jack Goff 14th ahead of Josh Cook. Rob Holland 16th ahead of James Cole. Dan Welch 18th. Then Warren Scott and Alex Martin in 20th. Derek Palmer recovers for 21st. And then those with problems, Sam Tordoff 5 laps down, Jeff Smith a retirement, Mike Bushell, Colin Turkington and Stuart Lyons all out of the race as well. For the championship then, it is now 9 points between Jason Plato and Gordon Shedden. Colin Turkington slips to 3rd, Andrew Jordan's up to 4th, it's Matt Neal 5th, Sam Tordoff 6th, Prio 7th, Collard 8th, Morgan 9th, and Jack Goff rounds out the top 10. But for Gordon Shedden, it is a race victory. And a very happy man he is too. It's the 3rd win of the year. And for Honda Yuasa Racing, the celebrations will start. And a great result for a patriotic home crowd as well. And after a really miserable day at Snetterton, and he got a weekend this to score points. Eddie Hinckley there embraces a very happy Gordon. Barry Plowman in the background taking his headset off. Co-owner of the team these days. And Gordon is not always this demonstrative, but you can see how much this win means to him. Very, very pleased indeed, and a great drive it was, because in a sense he had to do it twice. He got the lead, built up the gap, and then had to do it all over again on that restart. Yeah, and last but not least, a kiss from wife Gillian, you know. Yes. Lady that's been right behind Gordon throughout his career here. And I think this man has driven fantastically, Collard today. Yeah. Really, really good. We said at the start of the season about Matt Neal having a new lease of life, and Rob Collard is a bit the same. He is, as you say, driving better than we've seen for a while. Alex Moss there, former racer, he's celebrating with. But Gordon Shedden is the race winner. Let's hear from Gordon with Louise.
Well, Gordon, that was definitely a crowd pleaser, but from the response from the team back here and your response as well, that was very much a team pleaser as well, wasn't it?
It's brilliant. It feels like a long time since we've been on the top step of the podium, and you know, any race. But you know, to win in Scotland's great, and I kind of thought when the safety car came out that might kind of scupper things a bit. But you know, the pace in the Type R was just absolutely awesome, and delighted to get a win for everybody. It's awesome. Fabulous.
I mean, we know that you know this circuit well, but that was still a fabulous move that you pulled to take the lead.
Yeah, it's good, but it's, you know, it does predominantly suit the, you know, suit the BM. So to you know, but there's quite a bit of a weight transfer after, you know, difference in success ballast after race 1, and I made my plan, got my escape, and got out of there.
You said to me at the beginning of the weekend, you know, I put Snetterton behind you, but that's buried it, really, hasn't it?
It's good, but there's another race to go, and anything can happen, you know. So we've got to still try and score well in race 3. It's going to be difficult, but I'll give it absolutely everything.
How difficult will it be in race 3? I mean, OK, we don't know exactly where you're going to be starting, but you've clearly got a decent car underneath you.
Yeah, you know, the ballast just does make a bit of a difference round here with the really kind of tight run out the hairpin. So it is going to be difficult, but again, we'll try and tweak the car again, and who knows, it might all kick off somewhere up front, and I might be able to sneak some good points.
So your money's going to be on the man pulling your name out of the hat, or putting the name out of the hat for the reverse grid, or a friend of yours, I think it's going to be, isn't it?
Oh, well, I could do with it being 6 and not 10. That would really help life. But yeah, we're just, you know, it's fantastic. It's a sunny day at Knockhill, and crowd's absolutely awesome. Mega kind of into it, and it's great to get a win.
Great stuff. Well, and let me see if we've got Rob Collard coming round now, our second place finisher. Rob, another great result for you.
Yes, absolutely. You know, the BMW is absolutely flying today. You know, it's a credit to the guys. When you look at what happened at Snetterton, The car's been away, had major work, and it's been flying all day. And to win, or come second then with 75 kilos, is as good as a win.
How much impact did that have in terms of the performance of the car and the way that you could thread it back? Because you weren't quite as feisty as you were in race 1.
No, it's up against the Focus and the Audi. They're so strong up the hill. Yeah, we've got no answer to them. Yeah, we can catch them all through the twisty stuff. They get to the long straight and they just pull 2 or 3 car gap, and it just, as the race went on, it got less and less, and I was hunting Matt down, but he got saved by a safety car.
Once again, though, this circuit pulled its magic for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if it's just something in the air. The Scottish air is just, it brings me alive when I come up here, and it's such a credit to come to Scotland and race at such a wonderful track. You know, Knockhill is fantastic. I want every race to be here. We're here in Croft.
Well, I should think, I mean, Matt, this is a circuit that's done well for you as well, hasn't it?
It has, yeah. It's a struggle today. I mean, we've got the pace, but just trying to get the longevity out of the tyres, it just really is struggling. So, yeah, we dropped off sort of mid-race, and Gordon was just, well, he was on fire. But, yeah, I mean, to come away with P3 is still fantastic. Keeps us in the mix for the race. So, you know, we'll have to see what happens in race 3.
And once again, you had to pull everything out of the bag in terms of your defensive driving skills.
Yeah, it was a bit entertaining at times. I thought, should I let Rob go? And I thought, no, we're here to race. You know, we've got to race. And I could see them stacking up. And I thought, if he fires me off, we're going to end up in sort of P12, P13. But we managed to just get Rob in the mix. And Rob was on the back of Rob Austin. And he gave us that break that we needed. And from there, it was really just try and stick with Gordon. But he was just too quick.
So it crossed your mind to let Rob past, did it?
Well, he was a lot quicker than what we were. And, you know, it's at the end of the day, we need to be in the race for race 3. You know, it's a long game. It's not short. But we're here to race, and that's what we're here for.
Right, well, well done for that one. We'll look forward to seeing how you get on in race 3. And, of course, we'll be finding out how everybody lines up in race 3 after this break. So make sure you come back for that.
Well, we've had 2 fantastic races thus far here at Knockhill, and we know that race 3 always throws up loads of drama. It's another nice jumbled grid. There are people thinking about points for the championship. There are people like Aidan Moffat at the front for the first time. Yet again, an awful lot can happen here.
Yeah, and it's always great when you get the whole of the top 10 reversed, isn't it? Because you do get the lighter, faster cars at the front and the heavier cars that have done well so far further back. It always makes for great racing. Great to see, really, the 2 Mercedes on the front. That's a wonderful thing for their team. But I think Matt Neal will be really going for the win. He's got a great opportunity in a car with only 21 kilos on that's very, very quick. No one on the soft tyres near the front, so they're all pretty much on the medium tyre. And it should be a fascinating race.
Who's your money on?
I would have to say Matt Neal, because the car is very quick and he's only got 21 kilos on. As much as I would love to see Aidan Moffat or Adam Morgan get a win, I think Matt has the strongest, lightest car closest to the front, which is always what you look for.
We've had 9 different winners thus far this year. Could Aidan Moffat be a 10th? Well, it's possible, but he is relatively inexperienced against those around him. 2 warming up laps we will have, of course, in advance of round 21 of the Dunlop MSA British Touring Car Championship. Missing from the grid, Kieran Gallagher. Engine dramas from race 1. Aaron Smith is there this time. It was fuel pump issues that took him out of race 2. And the clutch problems persist for Tom Ingram. The car has made it to the grid. It is given a push. Now, will it start from the grid or the pit lane? I fear it's going to be the pit lane because it'll have the same problem of a standing start. And, of course, it's uphill. So Tom Ingram gets away. The plan is to head to the pits, I fear, and start from there rather than do 2 warming up laps and get warmth into the tyres.
Yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't done his warm-up laps to get some heat in the tyres. He could still go in the pits and get a push start from there. It's downhill at the exit of the pit lane. It would be a fairly easy push.
The front row, Adam Morgan and Aidan Moffat. The 2 Mercedes line up together ahead of Matt Neal and Jason Plato. Row 2, row 3, Rob Austin and Andy Prio. They are ahead of Andrew Jordan and Matt Jackson. Then Rob Collard and Gordon Shedden round out the top 10 ahead of Martin Depper and Dave Newsham. Jack Goff comes next ahead of Josh Cook, then Rob Holland and James Cole. It's Dan Welch 17th on the grid ahead of Warren Scott, then Alex Martin and Derek Palmer. They are in turn ahead of the next pair of Sam Tordoff and Jeff Smith. Mike Bushell is 23rd on the grid and Colin Turkington 24th. Then Stuart Lyons and Aaron Smith on the penultimate row. Kieran Gallagher absent from the back and Tom Ingram now in the pits. Why was he at the back when he finished 12th in race 2? The reason is that there was a little bit of a clash between Ingram and Dave Newsham. The result was reversed, so Newsham got his place back, but because it was Tom's third visit to the race officials in the Toka Race Centre, 3 strikes mean you go to the back of the grid for your next race, like Jack Goff in race 2. So that's why Tingram was going to be at the back anyway, and now the car is back in the pit lane, and the frustration is palpable.
Yeah, such a frustrating weekend, isn't it? It's so difficult when you come out of the weekend and you haven't salvaged anything really from the weekend. You may get something in this, you never know, but really it's a long shot. But you just want to get something out of the weekend.
Now, who carries what going into this race? Based on the results, remember, of race 2. So Gordon Shedden, the winner, 75. Rob Collard, a win and a second. He's on 66. Matt Jackson, 57 kilos. 48 for Andrew Jordan and 39 for Andy Prio. Then you've got 33 kilos aboard Rob Austin's Audi. 27 for Jason Plato. Matt Neal has 21. Aidan Moffat, 15. And Adam Morgan has 9 kilos. The grid onto its second warming up lap. Tom Ingram is ready to go from this downhill start in the pit lane. Gordon Shedden then starts 10th and 75 kilos on board. What can he get out of this?
That's going to be difficult. He's relying on some incidents further up, which may well happen. But he'll be just looking to get some strong points. He's done a fantastic recovery job of his weekend so far. You know, to come in 32 points down, he's only 9 points away as we start this last race. It's been a job well done so far. So let's not spoil it. Let's just get some more points.
Keeping an eye in part to what Jason Plato is up to. Colin Turkington starting way back, 24th, an awful lot of work, but it was proved by Jack Goff and Tom Ingram in race 2 that you can make progress around here, and it's race 3, so anything can happen further up the road.
Yeah, certainly can. You're right that Shedden will be looking what Plato's doing, and he might be hoping that Matt Neal can give him a little bit of a hand. Interesting to hear Matt Neal saying that he sort of felt he was out of the championship. I don't think he's out of the championship. You know, he's not that far away, but he might be. That might be an indication that Matt would be prepared to drive tactically. Who knows?
We'll find out.
I'm only suggesting.
So, Adam Morgan for pole position. Tom Ingram will start in the pits, but I suppose the benefit of that is that he's going to be behind any dramas on the first lap, fingers crossed. The last couple of cars slotting into place now. Aaron Smith arrives at the back of the grid, and so the drivers now look towards the lighting gantry. Round 21 of the championship about to get underway. There's some oil spilt from one of the support races previously, so the drivers parking away from that. Thumbs up from the officials at the back, green flag shown, and now everybody looks towards the lighting gantry. An all Mercedes front row for the first time in the championship. Drivers look towards the lights. Engine notes will rise as soon as the lights go out. Round 21 is go, and a good start by Morgan. Good start also by Matt Neal. Plato moves across to defend from Rob Austin. Morgan leads Moffat down towards Duffers Dip. Matt Neal is third as they head to the braking zone. Plato fourth. Rob Austin behind him. Adam Morgan clipping the curve and just got a little bit crossed up, but he's going to lead the way with Moffat second as they head towards the chicane now for the first time.
Great formation start for the 2 Mercedes. They're away and running. Little bit of a moment at the first corner for Morgan, but he held it nicely. Austin made a good, typically good start as he tried to make up positions on Plato, but Plato was wise to it.
Big lock-up from Rob Austin going up towards Clark's. There is Jack Goff keeping at bay. And Josh Cook for the moment as the cars head their way down towards the hairpin. End of lap 1. Adam Morgan won race 3 at Thruxton. He's leading race 3 here, and Aidan Moffat in second place, running higher than ever before in the championship. Great battle pack for 5th. Austin, then Prio, then Jordan, then Jackson. There's Dave Newsham in the mix as well. There's Collard, and here they come up towards the line. At the end of lap 1, Morgan and Moffat making a Mercedes 1-2, leading the way. 7/10 of a second between them, and it's all happening lower down the order. Look as that Collard is trying to dive up on the inside. Jordan's defending from Jackson.
Yeah, it was Newsham made a great round the outside overtake opportunity at the hairpin and drag raced up the hill with Collard.
So lap 2 of 24, the cars wriggle their way through the chicane. And Matt Neal then running in third place, losing a second on that opening lap against the top 2 as Jack Goff there was about to make a move up the inside of Martin Depper. Through his locks they come, out of Clark's, Andy Prio back onto the tail of Rob Austin. But the Mercedes up front, Adam Morgan certainly now doing his best to creep away from Aidan Moffat. And Matt Neal going with him. Plato runs 4th and Austin 5th. Andy Prio 6th in the best of the BMWs as they head uphill. Gordon Shedden at the end of lap 1 down into 11th place.
Yeah, Matt Neal just starting to find his feet now. Yeah, and as I say that, he does the fastest lap of the race. He's got the temperature in the tyres and he's pushing on now.
So Aidan Moffat is going to be the first target, but how long will it take Matt to find a way past the teenager? Because Adam Morgan will be wanting to build that lead. And we saw how well he drove at Thruxton and, of course, race 2 at Snetterton. Adam Morgan to keep Andy Prio behind him. Plato is still 4th ahead of Austin, then Prio. We've got in 7th place Jordan. 8th is Matt Jackson as the cars head now up towards Clark's. On board with Shedden, looking at the back of Dave Newsham. So Gordon Shedden is in 11th place. He's got all of that weight, 75 kilos on board. Is he going to be able to find a way by the Chevrolet? Dave Newsham, we know, can go well around here. Former winner here. Up the inside, he goes of Rob Collard. Whoa! Close, but it's worked for him. And here comes Shedden through as well.
That's what he wants. He wants the gaps to open up for him. That was very nice. He nearly got 2, but a good move by Newsham. That was strong and aggressive.
Gordon Shedden has now got Jack Goff behind him as they dive down towards the first corner. Through Duffers Dip, Shedden now does make the move, stick ahead of Collard. Goff trying to join in this as well, and also Josh Cook next up as the cars head now through turn 3 at Scotsman. This is Butchers. Safety car is being sent out. Safety car on track, so it's all going to bunch up. Safety car deployed.
Well, that's going to help those that started near the back. It's going to help Matt Neal, who will close up behind the 2 Mercedes. Morgan won't. Look at the lead that Morgan had. He won't want to see that at all.
Nervous faces at Wicks Racing. I'm trying to work out why we have a safety car. I'm trying to work out who's gone missing. We'll pick it up in a moment. I'm sure, possibly somebody's knocked the tyre barrier out of line, so that's got to be put back in to prevent people from corner cutting up at the chicane. Anyway, the safety car will be out, perhaps only for 1 lap. It will serve just to bunch them up a little bit, and then hopefully we can go racing once more. Safety car in this time, we're told, so just to get the correct you're back in the right place.
Yeah, I've not seen the safety car scramble to put the barriers back into place like that before, but never mind, that's where they are. It was a 2-second gap for Morgan over Moffat, but maybe that was the sort of reason we needed the safety car, but I think Matt Neal might have done that, but we're back in business now.
So Aidan Moffat is back on the tail of Adam Morgan. Matt Neal running 3rd. Bob Moffat there, putting his headset back on. Aidan's down, having a chat to the team. Tom Andre Cole in the middle with his back to us. Aidan's driver coach, but a race winner in the BTCC. So they've all bunched up. Dare one at this point suggest that safety cars breed safety cars because they can all have another stab at one another. Adam Morgan, again, he's good on his toes on the restart as he was from a standing start. Aidan Moffat, though, now is going to have to work really hard because he's not just got Matt Neal behind him, he's got the whole line of cars there.
Yeah, they're all gaggled behind, but we've got great shots. They come across the start-finish line.
So Morgan's away, 8 tenths up he was on the restart. Aidan Moffat now trying to keep everybody else stacked up behind him. Matt Neal has got Jason Plato on his tail, and then it's Rob Austin running 5th ahead of Andy Prio. Jordan runs 7th in the MG, keeping Matt Jackson behind him. Newsham is 9th and Shedden in the top 10. Out of the chicane they come. This now, lap 6, 25 lap race because of the safety car. And there a move made up on the inside, heading down towards Clark. The BMW goes through. And so there, Sam Tordoff up into 13th at the expense of Josh Cook. Now the leaders are down towards the hairpin, and Adam Morgan is doing it again. He's trying to make good his escape. Moffat is still in 2nd spot. And Prio is still staring at the back of the Audi of Rob Austin as they power uphill now.
2 rear-wheel drive cars sort of trying to make progress together, but Plato's lapping quicker this time round, obviously with less weight in the toe of the cars in front, being sucked along much better this time round.
Heading downhill, this is Scotsman, lap 7, on board still with Prio. Rob Austin ahead, and ahead of Rob is Jason Plato. Austin looking for a way past the Volkswagen, but at the same time trying to keep the BMW behind him. Out of the chicane now.
Yeah, you saw on board there what a different line. Even after all these laps, the guys are still taking different lines through that chicane. And it's just the fact that it's a blind question, really. Oh, we got some action there. Matt Jackson in the mix there with Newsham, Shedden.
So Newsham goes to the inside, Jackson tries to defend, Shedden's hung out to dry on the outside. We've also got Collard and then Tordoff in the BMW who's trying to join this as well. The leaders go through now. Matt Neal has just done the fastest lap of the race. Matt Neal runs third, but it's Morgan, Moffat, Neal. Then Plato, Austin, Creo in sixth. Jordan is seventh. Eighth is Matt Jackson, and the rest are trying to be ninth, with Newsham just ahead of Shedden, and then it's Collard, and then it's Tornoff, and then it's Goff, and then it's Cook.
Yeah, and you can see Shedden is trying to stay out of trouble, but try and stay in this race, whereas others around him, Newsham included, have got nothing to lose for going for it. Tornoff is making good progress. Look, Tornoff looking up the inside of his teammate.
Defined teammate at this junction, because Rob Collard made that a very wide car indeed.
Car in front.
But it didn't work either, so Rob hung on to the place. Tremendous effort this by Sam Tornoff, flashing his lights, heading down towards the hairpin gap on the inside. He's going to have a go at it. He's alongside, he's got the inside line, but Rob is not going to make this easy, and he'll try a drag race coming out of the corner. Cook and Goff are alongside each other as well, but Tornoff is through now. Yeah. Sam Tornoff goes through.
That's a good move from Tornoff. Obviously, he's got no weight on the car at all, so that makes a big difference. Collard has got 66 kilos. I'm sure the team were on to him saying, don't make it hard for Sam. He's got no weight on. Cook slipped through as well. Good opportunist move.
Cook back ahead of Goff, back up into 13th place then as they head up towards the chicane. Morgan is leading Matt Neal now up into second place. Matt Neal, but the gap is 3 seconds. And Matt last time didn't lap as quickly as Adam Morgan because he had to find a way past Aidan Moffat. But now let's see what Matt Neal is going to be able to do to bring down this gap. 3 times champion, hunting down Adam Morgan in the Mercedes. And look at Jason Plato's life getting busy. There's Austin, and then there's Creo up the inside of the Audi. Can Andy get alongside Rob coming out of the corner? No, he can't. Plato still having to defend, though.
Well, now we'll see how there's plenty of laps to go. We'll see what pace Matt Neal has got. He sets the fastest, not a personal best, but nearly on that last lap. But it wasn't even as quick as Morgan. Morgan was quicker, but it may have been the lap that Neal was passing Moffat.
This is how he did it.
Oh, Moffat ran wide coming through the chicane. Gifted it to Matt Neal.
Very spectacular stuff, but Matt Neal then up into second place. Aidan Moffat drops to third. Can he hang on to a podium finish? Just look who is behind him. Plato, Austin, Creo, Jordan, Jackson, Newsham, champions, race winners. They're all there, all in a line behind him, ready to have a go at the teenager, coming down towards the hairpin. This is lap 10 of 25. Austin again thinks about the inside against Plato, can't do it. Up towards the timing line. Last lap, the gap Morgan to Neal was 3.1 seconds. This time it's 3.3 as the Mercedes continues to edge away.
Yeah, Morgan again setting a personal best on that last lap. He's great when he gets in the front, isn't it? It's always a test of a true champion. The guy that gets out in the lead makes the most of it, and that's what Adam Morgan is doing now, driving beautifully.
And of course, this is the second time he's had to do it because of that safety car period. Getting rid of the gap he'd built up earlier on. Matt Neal then runs second. Moffat is third still. Have a look further down as they come bouncing out of the chicane. Does anybody make a mistake? Does anybody run wide and give the guy behind a chance to challenge? Jason Plato still, as you would expect, defending resolutely, keeping Austin and Plato at bay. Shedden now looking for a way past Newsham as they head down towards the hairpin. Up past them has gone Tornoff on this lap. Sam Tornoff still charging on, and Shedden right into the back of Newsham. Through the hairpin, Collard gets boxed in behind the Chevrolet, and now trying to find a way past anybody he can is Gordon Shedden, but actually with all of that weight he's a bit compromised coming uphill.
Well, he may have slowed himself down as well, running into the back of Newsham. Let's see how brave Collard is round the outside. He thought about it, but not against Gordon. You're not going to get through that easily there. Oh, look here, we've got Priya up the inside of Rob Austin. He's opened the door and forced his way through. He's next in line now to challenge Plato, but look, Aidan Moffat has regrouped himself. He's gapped Plato a little bit now, which is great. Driving very well Aidan Moffat, and Plato, as long as he's under attack from whether it's Rob Austin, Plato, Jordan, whoever, it's going to help Aidan carry on driving his own race. Here we go on board with Priya. Watch him open the door. Down the inside. Little bit of a touch there, but he's going to keep his foot in. Rob can't turn in, and he's through.
So Creo makes the move, he goes fifth. Adam Morgan is leading by 3 seconds. Last time around, Matt Neal did another best lap of the race. The gap is coming down as Jordan flings the MG through Duffer's Dip with a charging Tornoff behind him now. So Andrew Jordan over the timing line and dropped back behind the BMW. He's back up in front now. Warren Scott and also Andy Prio are being warned about track limits. We've not had too many warnings today, but we're getting them now in race 3 as Jordan has to go every which way to fend off Tordoff. Look at Shedden up the inside of Newsham. He's having another go at Clark's. And again, Dave Newsham is able to hang on in there. Dave Newsham knows his way round here very well from his days of racing in the Scottish Legends Championship and reverse grids, having to overtake. So Newsham and Shedden, Knockhill Maestros both, working pretty much as one car because they are so close, heading up towards the line, and there's contact between Plato and Prio. The BMW trying to get at the inside of the Volkswagen, and a little rub between them.
Yeah, it's hard stuff, and behind them it's Jordan side by side as well.
Now, Prio's on a mission, isn't he? Now, the BMW flying. He's got up and past Rob Austin, and he is all over the back of the Volkswagen. Jason wants points, but he doesn't want to compromise himself and risk going off altogether.
Yeah, and behind him, look at Jordan and Tordoff. Tordoff started 21st on the grid. He said to me in the break he was going to just have a go. Whatever happened, happened. And behind, is that Shedden getting through? Yes, Shedden has got through on Newsham. And that's brought Collard through as well.
And here comes Prio to the outside of Plato, down towards the hairpin. Wide in, tight out, is that going to work? Look at Tordoff and Jordan still side by side. Andrew Jordan having a great race here as he tries to defend against the lighter BMW uphill. Plato keeping Prio behind him. Past the pits they come now. The BMW tries to swing to the inside, but he's not close enough. Here comes Tordoff on Jordan, and he's not quite able to do it either.
Tordoff's a revelation this year. He's really found his feet in that team, in that car, driving really well. Not out of the championship by any means. He's a real championship threat, I think.
On board with Prio, you're staring at the back of Jason Plato's Volkswagen. Look in the mirror, there's the front of Rob Austin's Audi there. Up front, incidentally, Morgan is still leading, but only now by 2.8 seconds over McNeil. The gap has come down a little. On board with Prio down to the hairpin. Is he going to be able to make a dive at the inside?
Well, Plato, the old canny old driver, is positioning the car very nicely, so Plato resorts to a little push to push him wide and then get up the inside. That's a fairly deliberate move, I would say. Maybe he felt he had no choice but to do it, and Plato would have done the same to him, but it's cost Plato 2 positions because Rob Austin is going to go through as well, and Plato won't be happy about that. But we've seen it from all touring car drivers many, many times.
Yes, what goes around comes around, I think is the phrase. So through goes Prio, through goes Austin, but Jason Plato tries to fight back. Behind though, Sam Tordoff, also on an absolute mission, looking now to get past the Volkswagen, and straight away Plato has to think about defending.
Yeah. Well, it just shows the BTCC, such a dominant car at Snetterton last time out, just not really working around this track. You know, it's become such now that the cars are so closely matched that they become circuit specific, and it's enough that the differences between the circuits are enough to change the order.
So front-wheel drive Volkswagen, rear-wheel drive BMW. Tordoff up the inside. Is there room? He's going to try and prise the door open. Here comes Tordoff then in the ballast-free BMW. He's up the inside as they head down towards Duffers Dip. Through he goes on the inside. That gives Tordoff 6th, and Plato falls back to 7th. Now Shedden, thinking championship here, is in 11th spot, but he's at the back of this queue. He's not that far in terms of real estate away from Plato.
No, he's not, and that would suit him. This is Shedden into the back of Jackson, down at the hairpin. I think Jackson was maybe held up a little bit in front. Yeah, he was busy trying to fight with Collard, wasn't he? Yeah. That's why they all concertinaed up together.
And look at this, Jordan, Jackson, Collard, almost 3 wide down to the hairpin. Shedden is behind them. Then you have got the rest of the Chevrolets there. Look, there's Josh Cook getting involved in the battle as well. Dave Newsham has dropped back, so there's Josh Cook, and then Martin Depper going nicely. Jackson forced out wide, so Collard goes ahead of him, over the line. Tordoff 6th, Plato 7th, 8th is Jordan, 9th is Collard, 10th is Matt Jackson, Shedden's 11th, Cook 12th, Martin Depper 13th.
And we should just say at the front, Morgan is still controlling the gap. It's 2.5 seconds. Very little between them on lap times. Neil a couple of tenths quicker on that last lap, but still very little between them.
So the gap is coming down, but not by huge chunks. And Jordan there having to swing across to defend once more. Rob Collard this time is the one looking for a way past as a car stopped by the side of the road, which looks like the Infiniti's Derek Palmer out of the race. As here comes Jordan towards the hairpin. Behind him is Collard, then it's Jackson. And what can Shedden do? He needs places, of course, out of this for points into the hairpin's braking zone. They come now. Just up the road ahead is Jason Plato, and Depper there looking the back of the shot to the inside of Josh Cook. The red Honda tries to force its way through on the inside, but Cook powers ahead coming up the hill.
Yeah. And Plato has only got 27 kilos on, so you would have expected a car that's won races with maximum ballast to have been quicker. Meanwhile, Rob Austin has set the fastest lap of the race on the last lap. Sorry, Sam Tornoff has set the fastest lap of the race. Well, we knew he had good pace, but to set that lap time at this point is incredible.
So there's your race leader, Adam Morgan in the yellow and black Wicks Racing Mercedes, down towards the hairpin. Matt Neal is second, and Aidan Moffat, big cheer still, in third place. A podium for Aidan on home soil, bearing in mind he had to miss Snetterton because of concussion, because of an accident in practice. This will be an amazing result. Andy Prio fourth, so teenager versus European and triple world touring car champion. Then it's Rob Austin fifth, Sam Tornoff absolutely flying sixth, Jason Plato seventh, and it's everybody else eighth. Jordan just ahead of Collard. Shannon and Jackson side by side down towards Duffers Dip. The red and white Honda is on the inside. Gordon Shannon goes through into the top 10 and he's sideways. He hangs on to it. As ever, Gordon is giving this everything with a capital E.
Well, every race is every point is crucial when you're fighting for the championship, and that's what Gordon is doing. He wants to come out of this, if not in the championship league, very close to it, and that's what he needs to. If he stays on the track in this position, he'll do that.
Look at the dictionary for commitment, it'll say Gordon Shedden, because there's another example of it here. He's battling for every place, for every point. He knows, he's done it before, how to win the British Touring Car Championship. The 2012 champion locking up. He's ahead of Matt Jackson as the two of them turn through the hairpin, and now sprint uphill in a BMW way out wide there. That's Tornoff, isn't it?
Oh no, his great race has come to an end. He looks like he's got suspension problems on the left front as he taps someone into the chicane. He was doing fantastically. Meanwhile, Prio and Moffat for third place. Very close indeed, and the gap for the leaders come down to just 1.5 seconds as well. It's all getting very close together at the end of the race.
And there's debris on the side of the road coming out of the chicane. Where to look next? On board with Prio then for third place. He's right on the back of Moffat. They work their way now down towards the hairpin. Still in fifth place, Rob Austin. Sixth is Plato. The leader is Morgan by only 1.5 seconds. Prio to the outside to make the move.
Will he get a cut back, or will he try and go all the way around the outside? Good driving. Oh! Well, Andy wasn't alongside there to stick the nose in, really, and Moffat was coming across to fairly defending inside, but Moffat's had fair warning now that that's where the BMW puts the power down better. This is on board, goes for the cutback, has better drive out the corner, but Moffat is already steering to the inside, so really Prio is driving into the back of him, not alongside.
And Collard out of the race as well now.
Two West Surrey BMWs out in successive laps. What's gone wrong?
3 started, there's only 1 left, and Andy Prio's had 2 little incidents, one with Jason Plato, one with Aidan Moffat. Now let's try and piece it all together. There's Moffat, then Prio, and oh, suddenly Collard just snapped sideways, doesn't he?
Something went there.
Broken,
something went on the right rear. Yeah, something just went. Wow. It's the end of a day's racing here at Knockhill, with over all the bumps, all the crashing together. You know, something just went on the right rear, toe link, something. But
so Collard parked by the side of the road. Can it stay there? We are now on lap 23 of 25. Look, there's a big piece of debris in the road, and Adam Morgan's hit it absolutely square on. It's round the front of the car. Morgan has picked up big, not damage so much as debris that's now wrapped round the front of the car, and he's got problems, hasn't he, now? Because it's like a brake. It's dragging on the ground.
It is, and although the car will start to overheat, he's got 2 more laps to go. Can he hold on? Consternation in the garage. Oh, it's come off. Great. It's come off.
But is the damage done? Because Matt Neal is right there behind him. Adam Morgan now is going to have to defend like never before. Behind them, Aidan Moffat is having to do exactly the same thing in order to keep Andy Prio at bay. So this is the start of the penultimate lap. Adam Morgan leads, and Matt Neal is right there behind him. This is going to be another big test of Adam Morgan.
Yeah, but look at his focus. You can tell just by the way he took turn 1. He's determined to win this race. This is what winners are made of. Can he resist the pressure? Can he do it? We saw Jack Goff resist the pressure of Plato at Snetterton. Now we're seeing Morgan, not for his first victory, but for a very important one.
So this is Clark's. There's the left of Hislop's, then there's the hairpin, plus 1 lap to go. Matt Neal is equally, of course, determined to win this race. He wants to get back into the mix for the championship. Down to the hairpin they come. The gap at the start of the lap was 0.2 of a second, and here comes Neal up the inside. The door was open. He seizes the opportunity. They rub coming out of the corner, and Matt Neal has done it. He's gone by. He only needs half a chance, and that was what was given to him. So Matt Neal, a winner here last year, potentially will win this year, but Morgan tries to fight back. But starting the last lap of the race, Matt Neal leads the way, but Adam Morgan has not given up yet. You talk about the focus of winners. Here he comes to the outside. That ain't going to work, but he might duck up the inside. Morgan has not given up at all.
No, Morgan thought he had it covered going into the chicane. He didn't think Matt was close enough, but the Honda fantastic on the brakes, and a late lunge from Matt. Is this going to be an opportunity? Oh, so close.
Behind them, we've got Prio third, Austin fourth, and Moffat's down to fifth. So there's been another sort out. If Adam Morgan's going to win this, it's got to come under braking for the hairpin. He's got to do to Matt Neal what Matt did to him a lap ago. Is he near enough to do it? Not into the corner. Can he get the cut back heading towards the line? Matt Neal, I think, has got the job done. But another tremendous race in the championship, and it's going to be a win for Matt Neal, who comes across the line to score victory then. The Honda takes the win by 0.3 of a second, and Adam Morgan led for 23.5 plus laps out of the 25, but it wasn't quite enough because Matt Neal comes through to score the victory. Third, Andy Prio. Fourth, Aidan Moffat in the end. Fifth, Rob Austin. So he got 1 place back at the end. 6th, Plato. Jordan 7th. 8th for Gordon Shedden. 9th, Matt Jackson. 10th, Martin Depper in the points ahead of Dave Newsham, then Jack Goff, Josh Cook, Jeff Smith, Colin Turkington 15th, Tom Ingram 16th from the pits, Aaron Smith 17th, Mike Bushell 18th, Rob Holland 19th, James Cole is 20th, Alex Martin there takes 21st, and behind him it is going to be Dan Welch and Stuart Lyons 22nd and 23rd, and it's time for a deep breath. Matt Neal wins another tremendous race, and a great reception from the fans, from the marshals around the circuit. One of the best days racing we've had in the championship. 3 cracking races across the board. Matt Neal then, a 3rd win of the championship season. 6th, 8th and a 1st, the results from this weekend. And Adam Morgan kicking himself, but a lesson learned, arguably.
A fantastic race, no doubt about it. Very unhappy Collard, but he still had a brilliant day. But
yes,
you just don't want to drop points like that. But, you know, fantastic race. Great opportunist overtake by Matt Neal. I dare say Adam Morgan will know in the future that you haven't got to just half close the door. You've got to slam it shut to stop Matt Neal getting inside.
Unlock it and bolt it.
Yes, exactly.
And throw the key away.
But nevertheless, a great move by Matt. A good, well-deserved victory. But a great drive by Morgan. Tried to, and even after he was passed, he was still trying to do it.
Yeah.
Prio's come through for another podium. Moffat sadly lost that place, but still a great 4th place.
Career best.
Yes.
That's a fabulous result, isn't it, for somebody that is inexperienced, who had to miss the last round of the championship.
And he'll have learned a lot.
Matt Neal wins round 21 here at Knockhill ahead of Adam Morgan and Andy Prio. Aidan Moffat's best ever finish is 4th, Rob Austin 5th. Then it's Jason Plato 6th ahead of Andrew Jordan and Gordon Shedden 8th. Matt Jackson 9th and Martin Depper rounds out the top 10. Dave Newsham takes 11th ahead of Jack Goff. Then it's Josh Cook in 13th. Jeff Smith 14th. Colin Turkington 15th ahead of Tom Ingram, Aaron Smith, Mike Bushell, Rob Holland and James Cole rounds out the top 20. Alex Martin 21st ahead of Dan Welch and Stuart Lyons. Rob Collard out, Sam Tordoff out, Warren Scott out and Derek Palmer a retirement as well. 11 points in it. Jason Plato still leads, but Gordon Shedden is back in the hunt 2nd, and Matt Neal 3rd is very much now a force to be reckoned with once again. Colin Turkington is the day's loser. He's down to 4th. Andrew Jordan's 5th ahead of Andy Prio and Sam Tordoff. Adam Morgan's 8th. Rob Collard is 9th and Jack Goff is 10th. But Matt Neal is a delighted race winner. Round 21 of the championship goes the way of Matt Neal then. And Bob Moffat, one of those to come over and say congratulations. Now this is Andy Prio's move on Aidan Moffat, and that's pretty physical as well. So for the 2nd time, a little bit of contact between those two.
That was a 2nd aggressive move, wasn't it, by Prio? But it got him the position, but he's certainly roughing it out with the BTCC regulars. Here you get it from another angle. It's the push to pass, and that's the 2nd time he'd attacked Moffat, wasn't it? So he was going through, but Moffat won't be happy about that.
So 2 on Moffat, and of course a little nudge on Jason Plato. So we'll see what the result is come the end of the day. There might be a bit of discussion, but Matt Neal is a very happy man indeed. Adam Morgan taking second place. I think he'll be pretty content with that result as well, because, all right, it's not a win, but once more for Adam, he's up there proving that he can live with the best of them in the championship. And let's hear from the winning drivers. Louise is ready to have a word with Matt Neal.
Well, Matt, you said you wanted the win. You got it.
We needed that one. The car was perfect, right from start to finish. I struggled a bit getting past Aiden, and then that allowed Adam to make a bit of a break. And then I thought he was too far gone, and then he picked up a bit of debris with about 2 laps to go. And I was going to have a go at jumping him, and I thought, oh no, he's out of it. He's forget it. And then he got going again. I thought, oh, I've lost my moment. But he just left enough space on the inside of the hairpin to roll up the inside. So, but another one for the Type R. Fantastic.
I mean, talk about leaving the door open. There was the tiniest crack, but just give you any opportunity, you're going to be in there, aren't you?
Well, you've got it. That's the nature of British touring car racing, isn't it? So it was. I think he didn't know whether I was going to go for it because there's a lot of marbles and dirt on the inside. But I managed to haul the thing up and get it stopped on the apex. And then it was just trying to hang on for that last lap. But fantastic.
I mean, we saw Gordon celebrating earlier. And what does it mean to you to get the win here at this circuit as well?
Well, won here last year. It was my only win with the estate, or the tour. But to come here after Snetterton to bag 2 wins for Type R with me and Flash, and nice sharing out. It's been a good day.
Well done, you. Well, let's bring in the man who you pulled that move on. I mean, Adam, you know, I thought you might be a little disappointed, but you were still jumping out of the car and celebrating.
It's always great to bring the Wix Mercedes back on the podium. You know, I thought I drove up until that last couple of laps a brilliant race. You know, I saw the debris as I came over the chicane, and there's nowhere I could go. And next thing I know, I've got Matt in my mirrors, who, you know, the last person I want dive bombing me into the hairpin. But no, it's a great result for our sponsors and just for everyone at Wix Racing.
I mean, but for that, you kind of had it under control. Did you think it was in the bag if that hadn't happened? I know that's a how long is a piece of string question, but
it's a difficult one. I think I lost a second on that lap, whereas the laps before I was losing a tenth, maybe 2 tenths to Matt. But then, yeah, losing that second, you know, just put me under the pressure. And then, yeah, Matt into the chicane. But, like I said, you know, it's another podium this year and more points in the bag, and we're moving forward.
Well done, you. Let's bring in Andy Priaulx here up on the podium with some feisty move, I think it's fair to say, to make your way up here.
Yeah, I mean, it was all fair, but feisty, definitely. I knew I needed some to be aggressive in that third race to get through. I mean, you know, Jason's a tough guy, doesn't give an inch. And obviously, Moffat did a good job defending, but we got through in the end. I was reeling these guys in, but it was too late, you know. I think it's a fine line between taking yourself out and being aggressive, and I think we found the right balance there, so that was good fun.
So you were quite happy with the move on Plato?
Oh, God, yeah, absolutely, you know. And JP defended really hard and was parking the car in the middle of the corner, so what can you do, you know?
Good weekend for you, basically.
Absolutely, yeah, great weekend. I've closed on the championship lead. I'm leading BMW now, mid-season, so it's all good. I'm very happy.
Well done. Well, we'll see you at the next one. We're going to be back for some more reaction from some of the other drivers, but a quick break first of all.